it back when we do. Hello and welcome in everyone to this CCIW tournament matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and the Millikin Big Blue. John Mark Mills here with Gabe Woodowis. We're excited to bring you this one. And Gabe, the Thunder and the Millikin Big Blue really coming in on different notes, with Millikin entering with 3 straight wins and the Thunder losers of 6 straight. So definitely 2 different stories coming in for these teams tonight.
That's definitely right, John Mark. They have the same conference record coming into this evening's matchup, 5-3 for each team, but it's a different sort of 5-3, as you just hinted at. Wheaton obviously beat Millikin in 5 sets in the first matchup between these 2 teams this season, so the Big Blue will be out for some revenge here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to throw it down to the court real quick for the player introductions, national anthem, and some honoring of different CCIW all-team players on both sides. We'll see you back here in a few.
CCIW tournament match between Wheaton College and Millikin University. At the conclusion of every sports season, each CCIW varsity program will recognize one student athlete as their respective award honoree. Respective award recipients have distinguished themselves as an integral member of the team, their institution, and community by upholding the values of responsibility, enthusiasm, service, pride, excellence, collaboration, and trust. The Respect Award recognizes the intangible traits a student athlete possesses that exemplify great character and encourages inclusiveness and a positive culture. This year's Respect Award honoree for Millikin University is Grace Kanowski. And the Respect Award honoree for Wheaton College this year is Sophia Pluhar. And now on the court, joining the Respect honorees is Millikin head coach Devin Kidd and Wheaton head coach Stephanie Schmidt. Student athletes, when your name is called, please join your coach at the center of the court. At this time, we'll introduce the CCIW honorees and the all-conference team from 2021 from both of these teams. A second team honoree for Millikin University, Lauren Brummel. A second team honoree for Millikin, Jesse Crater. And a Millikin University member from the first team of the All-CCIW team for 2021, Tori Stewart. And now the honorees on the 2021 All-CCIW team from Wheaton. A second team honoree, Allie High. And first team all-conference honoree for Wheaton, Colleen Smith. Congratulations to all 5 members of the 2021 CCIW all-conference volleyball team. At this time, we ask that everyone please rise, if able, for the playing of our national anthem. Another starting lineup for both teams in tonight's CCIW tournament matchup. First, for the number 5 seed, Big Blue of Millikin University. The libero for Millikin, number 4, Juliana Masala. Point number 1, an outside hitter, Tori Stewart. Number 2 is sophomore, Reese Brown. Wearing number 5, a freshman, Kaylee Itzenhauser. A senior for the Big Blue, wearing number 6, Lauren Rummel. A freshman, number 9, Sophia Gibbs. And a junior for Millikin, number 13, Jesse Crater. Millikin is coached by Debbie Kipp. Into the starting line for the home team, the number 4 seed in the tournament, the Wheaton College Thunder. The libero for Wheaton, a junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, number 8, Allie High. A senior from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, number 3, Marley Anderson. A senior from East Lansing, Michigan, number 4, Bradley Morgan. A senior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 5, Kaylee Byerly. A freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma, number 9, Ashton Major. A senior for the Thunder from Littleton, Colorado, number 11, Audrey Gers. And a senior from Chesterfield, Missouri, number 12, Colleen Smith. Wheaton is coached by Stephanie Schmidt.
Welcome back, everyone. We are just about to get underway between this quarterfinal matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and Millikin Big Blue. Thunder, as you may have heard, entering in as the 4 seed, Millikin entering in as the 5 seed. And of course, there's going to be another matchup going on while this one is played as well between number 3 Elmhurst and number 6 North Park. That one tipping off at just around the same time. So that is your CCIW quarterfinal bracket. And we are about ready to get underway, and kind of as we mentioned before the break, yeah, these two teams really entering at different points, at different sort of, with different thought processes probably entering this game, with Millikin being winners of quite a few games in a row, and the Thunder really struggling to find wins late in October, haven't won since early October, really, all the way stretching back that long. So both teams coming in differently, and we kind of heard some of the different honorees from both these teams as well, Gabe, for the CCIW all conference teams. Thunder with 1 Colleen Smith, as well as Millikin with 1 first team player, number 1 Stewart on their side. So all those players are going to be in the starting lineups for both these teams, so should be exciting to get us started.
Certainly should be, John Mark. I'm very curious to see the mentality of both teams, especially the Thunder coming into this one. As you mentioned, facing this long losing streak, it's not easy to dig yourself out of that right as the postseason gets started. So especially up against a strong side who they beat in an instant classic over in Decatur earlier this year. Should be an interesting matchup for the Thunder team. They obviously had their senior night spoiled the other week against North Park, so these veteran players will want to end their time in King Arena on a high note.
That North Park loss coming 3-1. Here's Ashton Major with the slam, but immediately blocked down, and Millikin with the early point. And I think that's probably something we're going to see a lot of, as Millikin is one of the strongest defensive teams in the CCIW, 2nd in average blocks per game. So definitely be looking for that.
Yeah, it looked like the freshman Sophia Gibbs getting the decisive touch of the net right there. Perfect start for the visitors.
Here's the set from Anderson. That's Gers. Good dig there on the side of the Big Blue. Here's one. That's Tori Stewart. Expect to see a lot of her as well.
Well, plays like that are the reason she got called up to the first team all-conference this week. Great play at the net once again from Millikin.
Yeah, and behind only Haley Horner of Carthage in terms of kills in all of the CCIW is number 1, Tori Stewart. That's a nice save by Allie High, and this will be a free ball for the side of Millikin. Here's the spike, but Allie High gets under it again. So we're going to have a whistle here, and the point going to the side of Millikin.
Yeah, a little violation right there for the Thunder. Not an ideal start here for the home side. Great momentum building now for Millikin.
Early 3-0 lead. Here's Reese Brown to serve. High gets under that. Anderson with the set. That's the slam from Gers. Goes harmlessly back to Millikin. Easy dig, that time by Smith. Here's Gers again. That's blocked at the net, goes straight over, tapped by Major. Sends back down. Nice long volley developing here, and here is, once again, this is Tori Stewart with her 2nd kill of the game.
Powerful play once again from Stewart. The first of what I'm sure will be many great rallies between these two sides coming into tonight, pretty evenly matched. And at this point for Wheaton, it's just about getting that first point. Starting in this early hole, it's tough to come out of that, but You can tell they're just a little bit off mentally right now. Let's see if they can respond on this one. Nice play.
And they can indeed, as that's Major elevating, sending it down on her second try of that point.
Yeah, she had a couple bites at the cherry the last point and wasn't able to make it count, so good to see her respond with a thunderous kill right there on that last one.
Gers serves it up, and yet again, her third kill of the game already. That's Tori Stewart.
Nice reverse set right there from Reese Brown, the sophomore setter, back over her head to the far side. And Millikin's offense is making it look easy right now.
Stewart will go back to serve. High gets under Anderson with the set, but that's going to go right by the net, but a nice play, cross court, beautiful placement of the ball there.
How creative was that from Brogan? Can tell she's a senior with heads up plays like that. Beautiful cross court placement, not a Millikin defender in the area.
Yeah, making something out of a set that wasn't ideal at all, as that's Ashton Major with the service error, sends it straight into the net.
Yeah, Major has largely had a very successful freshman campaign, but the service game is one of her weak spots. And unfortunately, it showed right there, a nice break there for Millikin.
We'll get the ball right back. This time in the hands of number 14, Howell. Gers gets under that. Here's the set. Nice job by number 4, Briley Brogan, to get that over the net. This is just popped lazily over. Now here's Smith with the kill, straight in between 3 Millikin defenders.
That was a finish deserving of a first-team all-conference player. Colleen Smith making her first big play of the night. She eats chances like those for breakfast.
And it'll be interesting to see how the battle between Stewart and Colleen develops, because that was, I think, one of the things that led towards the Thunder, as that's going to be an ace on the side of the Thunder. But that was because we saw Colleen Smith outkill Stewart in that victory, that 3-2 victory that Wheaton was able to find. So we'll see how that develops, as those are the 2 leading killers on the side of both teams. So here's Smith again, looks to add 1 to her total, but that's just out of play.
Yeah, just a little bit overeager there for Smith, but it's hard to blame her because there was some open space there in the back corner. She just hit it a little bit too hard, so the Big Blue will gladly take that error. And 7-4 lead for Millikin, but Wheaton have done well to build themselves back into this first set after that early 4-0 deficit.
Gers, this is going to have to go over, just put over easily by Byerly. It's going to go, that's a nice block and just out of the reach of the Millikin defender, and the Thunder pull within 2.
Yeah, Byerly started that point by lofting it to the back and then finished it with the block. Her and Marley Anderson going up on the near side. Good defense right there from the home team.
Colleen Smith going to stand to serve, and that's number 14. Sophia Howell just not able to quite get what she wanted on that. Thunder will take that point as well.
The senior Smith has really developed her service game over the second half of this season, the 3rd most aces on this Thunder roster. Good to see her improving in that area of the game.
Fought off, and then that's a thunderous kill there, and that's going to go out of play. A lot of velocity coming off of that one. It's from number 3, Flesner.
Yeah, that was destined to be a point for Millikin as soon as it left her hand. The fact that Smith was even able to get her hands under that was impressive, but another big point right there from the Big Blue.
Itzenhauser. Sends it across. Smith plays it to Gers. Looks like she might get it back, and she does. Fought off there by Howell. Sent back over, popped up in the air. Here's the set. Oh, looks like a little bit of a change up there. Let's go back for the Thunder. And nice off-speed pitch, as it were, there to get the point.
Thunder having a lot of success early with these soft touches at the net. It's Kaylee Byerly this time, almost identical to the one we saw a few minutes ago from Briley Brogan. Once again, it's the senior middle blocker making the difference for Wheaton.
Yeah, great job there to anticipate that the block was going to be jumping and getting them missed time there to find the point, and then right back into the game is Tori Stewart with another kill.
Yeah, that was the mirror image of the point we just saw from Millikin. Once again, Colleen Smith trying to get low to the ground to keep that one alive, but it deflects out of bounds. We are seeing some powerful play from the visitors so far this evening.
Vassallo to serve. Dug by High. Cross to Major. Nice job by Vassallo to get under it. Pops up into the rafters, but it's kept in play by Millikin. Nice diving play there from High. Gers is going to send it over. This set, and that's going to be Gers getting over once again. Here's the try from Smith. Vassallo gets under that to Stewart. It's going to be a bit of a mid-range spike attempt. Sent to Major. Found again. Both teams, no one wants to give up here, and that's going to be just down the line, right out of the reach of Valley High, and Millikin comes up on top.
Phenomenal placement right there. Bit of a wacky point. A couple of times it looked like Millikin had Wheaton beat. We obviously got the deflection off the rafters here in King Arena, but the Big Blue ultimately deserving to win that one with an excellently placed shot in the far corner.
Vassallo backing up into it is Smith to get there. Smith is going to put a little spin on that. Goes across to Stewart again, blocked and then kept up. Nice reaction time from Anderson. Smith finds Gers, cross court, and that's going to be just out of play. Point goes to the Big Blue.
Bit of momentary indecision right there from Millikin's Juliana Vassallo. Not quite sure whether to let that one go out of play, but ultimately she decided to, and it was the right call. That shot from Gers just sneaking wide of the line.
Vassallo over Smith. Ashton Major on a little bit of a difficult angle there, but gets it across. Tapped over, Major gets it back again. Here's Anderson. Gers, it's going to be just arcing over the net. Gets it over. Nice play from Gers to adjust. Here's Anderson back to Major. That might have gone off the top of the net. Hard to tell, and it's a point for the Thunder.
Sometimes the net is a cruel beast, but sometimes it works in your favor, and that's what we saw right there from Ashton Major. Bit of a mishit, for being honest, from the freshman, but it worked out in Wheaton's favor.
I was able to evade the block and get a strange adjustment there off the top of the net. Hard for Big Blue to shift in on that play, and that's going to be another service error for the Thunder. This time Anderson sending it just out of play.
Yeah, those are the errors that you can't really afford to make at this point in the set. You're already down 3 points, trying to get some momentum back on your side as you try to cut into this deficit. It's not a good look just to hand Millikin points like that. Big Blue will take it all day long.
Brown with the serve and Major. Nice diving play. That one by Brown. Here's Stewart. Set by Anderson, then slammed across by Brogan. There's another try from the Big Blue. Anderson rushes over to get there. That's not going to quite go over the net, so Ashton Major just bumps it straight over. And then Stewart again, and that one just gets it right by the block.
Yeah, when Tori Stewart goes up in that sort of position, you kind of know the end result. There's only so much Wheaton can do defensively, and I think this is a smart timeout here from Coach Schmidt.
Yeah, Millikin extending their lead to 5 points now, so prompting the quick timeout. Thunder opportunity to talk about what's going on, and yeah, I mean, it's really has felt like the Tori Stewart show a little bit. I think that puts her at least 4 early kills in this game, and it's going to be up to the Thunder to try to get some blocks down on her for sure as this game progresses.
Fans still filing into King Arena here. It's good to see the nice attendance for this tournament match. The first official tournament match that Wheaton has hosted in this arena in the current iteration of the tournament, at least. So making a little postseason history here, the Thunder, but this Millikin team is not easy to beat twice in a season. There's a reason these two teams have come into this one with such similar records and stat lines. And as we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, the momentum for both sides coming into tonight's matchup, very different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, it's just interesting looking at even the overall records of these teams, very different, both 5 and 3 in conference, but the Thunder, in large part due to that losing streak down the stretch, having a sub-500 record overall, whereas Millikin sitting at an impressive 20-10. So that's, you know, quite a difference. So kind of shows that the seeding is, you know, definitely maybe not as important as you might think for estimating the strengths of these two teams, but I think we're in for a close match overall, just judging from where these teams have been, and obviously the first match that they played earlier in the season. This is going to be Reese Brown on the serve, and that's going to go straight to the Thunder.
Well, they had nothing to do with it, but you can't ask for a better start coming out of a timeout than the one Wheaton got right there. It's still a 4-point deficit, but we'll see if Audrey Gers and company can cut into that here.
And right back, another error. So neither team seems to want the ball right now, as that's points given over from both sides.
A lot of generosity here in King Arena tonight.
Yeah, me and my co-caster John Naroon were talking about all the generosity we were seeing in the game against North Park. Giving out a lot of gifts, as that's Colleen not giving Millikin anything on that one.
Once again, it's the light tip at the net. Sometimes you don't need to go full throttle. Colleen Smith elevating nicely, timed her jump to perfection, and just tapped it over for the easy point.
Serve comes in, that's low, just able to get under it is Stewart, and that's going to be off the block and out of place. Extending the lead of the Big Blue to 5.
Yeah, a couple of Wheaton players in the area, Byerly and Smith, getting up, trying to block that one successfully, just went off the top of their hands. Once again, it's good play at the net for Millikin as they restore their 5-point lead.
Foul. That's Colleen Smith getting there. Anderson goes back to Smith. He gets a deflection off the block, so helped out a little bit by the Millikin blockers, and that's a point there for the Thunder.
Yeah, that's a good call. You could tell that block threw off Reese Brown on the far side. She was trying to get into position to dig that one out, but it went right around her. A little misdirection accidentally there from Colleen Smith. Big point for Wheaton.
Now it's Millikin's opportunity. Nice job by Gers to get on top of that. And here's Smith, but blocked right down. Oh, out of play, though, so that's going to go to the Thunder.
Sometimes those are the kind of breaks you need when you're trying to mount a comeback in the middle part of the set. Wasn't actually a bad play for Millikin, but they'll be frustrated with themselves. They couldn't get that block on the right side of the line.
Yeah, Millikin defenders certainly were there. And that's pretty far out of play, so a few errors here on the side of the Big Blue are putting the Thunder right back in this game.
That was number 13, Jesse Crater, with a rare attack error there, just punching that one too far long, and a big series of points right here for Wheaton.
And then right back off the block are the Big Blue. Looks like number 3. That's Flesner with the kill there.
Yeah, and since that early 4-0 run for Millikin, this has been a really back and forth set, so Wheaton will be disappointed with the start that they had to this one, but they've done well to get themselves back into it.
Someone deflects off the Thunder block, set by Anderson. Found by, that's number 5 on the side of Thunder, Byerly, but point's going to go to Millikin.
Yeah, some unfortunate contact right there from the senior at the net. Just didn't catch it properly, allowed Millikin to get up and block it right back where it came from.
Here's Anderson. Anderson to Smith. Anderson gets it back to high, back to Smith. Try it again, blocked again. Run it back, here we go. Number 5, that's Byerly. Sends it straight up and out. So 2 straight blocks from Millikin seem to kind of lead to a little bit of confusion. The Thunder are looking to try to figure out what to do there. But nice defense on the side of the Big Blue. Showing why they are one of the best defensive teams in the CCIW. Here's Gers. That's a nice dig by number 4, Vasilo. Anderson sends it over, but getting there in time is Vasilo again, tapped over. Here's High. Anderson with the set. And Kaylee Byerly can't get it over the net. Now back to a 6-point lead.
Yeah, perhaps not the cleanest catch there from Byerly, but once again, you got to give a lot of credit to the net defense that we're seeing right there from Millikin. You just talked about why they are one of the best teams in the CCIW when it comes to that category. And now a comfortable 6-point lead for the guests.
So we see number 15, Naomi Bunker, check in, and yet another block for Millikin. So that defensive prowess starting to rack up the points. And it's kind of starting to get a little bit out of hand in this first set for the Thunder.
Naomi Bunker has been a big player off the bench for a large part of this season for Wheaton, has come in and made a serious impact, but have to wonder if it's a little bit too late here for her to try to turn this one around for Wheaton, but a friendly service error right there for Millikin to give the Thunder a chance to get back into this one.
Colleen Smith to serve. And that just kind of handcuffs number 14, Howell, and leads to another point.
Celebrations from the Wheaton bench early on are top-notch. They have busted out quite a few moves early on in this one.
Yeah, this Thunder team always seems to have a smile on their faces for sure. Positive throughout, as that is just rocketed.
Audrey Gers busting out the soccer play here. Nearly got it to go back over the net off the kick, but I think the referee's whistle had already gone anyway.
Yeah, caromed off of 3 Thunder players. Good work by Pluhar just to survive that.
Yeah, it was insult to injury
kill,
right there from Millikin.
Absolutely. Here's Gers, and that's out of play yet again. So Millikin just within 3 points of closing out this first set.
Yeah, we've talked all season long about how good Wheaton tends to be in the first set. We usually see them take the first one and then kind of slow things down in the second one. So they'll be hoping for the opposite case here tonight if Millikin is able to close out this first one.
And we see Gers here. Just gets under it a little bit too much. That's the second straight ball. Second straight point given over to Millikin off of just being too far past that end line, as that's going to be another service error. Generosity continues from both these teams. Allie High trying to get her team back in this, down 7 in the late stages of this first set. This one tapped over, and that's a beautiful play there, just elevating it over the block and into a perfectly placed pocket of space.
Yeah, really heads-up play once again there from Crater, putting the ball exactly where she needed to. Wheaton all over the place defensively on that point, so well done to take advantage there by the Big Blue. And they've got set point here.
Set point, we'll see. Thunder can prevent that as yet again. That was really kind of the story of these final few stages of this first set for the Thunder side. Just a lot of unforced errors, sending it out past these end lines and giving quite a few points over to the side of Millikin as they take the first set.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. Perhaps an error-strewn first set here from the Thunder. Not the best volleyball that we know they're capable of playing, but I think they may feel as though the 25-16 scoreline is a little bit harsh because it did feel pretty evenly matched for a majority of that set. Millikin just proving a little bit stronger down the stretch, and the visitors have the perfect start here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the Thunder certainly were playing with Millikin in the early stages of this game, and just kind of was a lot of unforced errors on their side that ended up closing this one out. So I think Thunder can have a lot of improvement, a lot of mistakes they can shore up to get back into this game between these two teams. But either way, we also saw some great play out of Tori Stewart, of course, getting a lot of early kills and kind of giving Millikin that early lead.
And if you'll remember in that game between these two teams back in September or down in Decatur as the case may be, Wheaton actually won the first 2 sets in that one, and then Millikin came back, won 3 and 4, threatened to reverse sweep their guests, and then Wheaton held on to win in 5. So might we see a little turning of the tables other way around here tonight. An interesting stat coming into this one, Millikin are 8-0 on the year in 4-set matches, but Wheaton are actually 3-1 in 5-set matches. So is it crazy to suggest that Wheaton just intentionally dropped the second set and just play for 5?
Probably pretty crazy, but I think that's definitely a good stat.
There's a reason I'm not a collegiate volleyball coach suggesting strategies
All right,
like that.
so we dropped the first set. To get to that 5th set, we have to drop 2.
Playing the long game.
Playing the long game. But yeah, no, the Thunder have been involved in some really close 5-set matches and have more often than not come out on top. And also just looking around at our other quarterfinal, North Park took the first set off of Elmhurst 25-15.
Ooh,
so that's a bit of an upset
down the road.
6-seeded North Park.
Well, we saw that last week when they came here and beat Wheaton on senior night. Their record is a little bit deceiving. I know they came in as the lowest seed into this CCIW tournament, but I think they only had about 2 or 3 non-conference losses, if I remember correctly, before conference play started, and they looked really strong here in King Arena the other night. So as good as Elmhurst were this season, it would not shock me if North Park are able to pull the upset.
Yeah, once again, one of those teams that has a overall record that's substantially stronger than their conference record. North Park going 3-5 in conference, but 19-10 overall. So, yeah, again, probably just a team that's a lot stronger than their seeding would seem to show. Same thing going for Millikin here, 20-10. I mean, that's the best record overall in the CCIW. So certainly, yeah, can't be underestimating these teams that maybe have not quite as strong conference records, and both Millikin and North Park showing why they shouldn't be taken lightly early on.
And the winner of this one, obviously, coming up, the winner of this one gets to travel to Bloomington to face the conference champions, Illinois Wesleyan. So we'll either see a Central Illinois rivalry, or we'll see a rematch of the Wheaton sweep at Illinois Wesleyan. Still the Titans' only conference loss this year, a result that looks even more mind-boggling as the season has progressed. Wheaton were just on fire that night. Got the Titans on an off night, but Illinois Wesleyan have really turned their season around since that early defeat to the Thunder. Be curious to see how that match played out if we do indeed get a rematch.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's one of the most impressive wins on the Thunder's schedule right now, and has remained that way as the season has progressed. So
I think they get an at-large bid to the tournament just based off of that win alone. Just put them in the NCAA. They deserve it.
I mean, yeah, a sweep. Yeah, it wasn't even a close 5-game set, but
not many teams can say that they've swept their conference champion on their home floor.
Absolutely not. The Thunder are going to have to take down their opponent here tonight in Millikin to do that. Starting off with a pretty long volley starting to go here. Here's Stewart. That's off the block. Now Anderson going to set it up to Major, who gets the slam down perfectly placed, and then that's just off the outstretched arm of number 2, Reese Brown.
Good link-up play right there between Anderson and Major. Perfect start for the Thunder coming out of that set break. Love to see the senior to freshman connection.
Anderson's going to go back to serve. Played up by Itzenhauser. Slapped over by Major, and here's Stewart again, finds her first kill of this set.
Yeah, she loves that near left side position. That is where she thrives. We've seen her make so many good plays already through the first stages of this quarterfinal match.
We'll see if Millikin can get out to as fast of a lead as they were able to in set 1. Really got out to about a 4-0 lead and didn't really look back. We'll see if that changes at all as this one progresses. That's just streaked straight by number 4, Briley Brogan.
Lauren Brummel there on the far side. Yeah, nothing Brogan could do about that one, pulling the matrix move to get out of the way. There was some heat behind that one from the senior.
Alley high. This is the slam from Gers. Nice dig over the net. Actually, not quite over. Looked like it might have made it. It's going to go back to high. Side to go to Gers. Fought off. It's going to go to number 9, Gibbs. And out, and that's going to be a point for Millikin.
Yeah, as frustrated as the Thunder will be not to take that point, you got to give a lot of credit to the Big Blue defensively. A couple of times it looked like they were beaten on that one, and they were able to keep it alive. Quite literally dug that point out. That is a momentum booster right there for the guests.
Gers cross to Colleen Smith. Nice hustle play there from Vassilo to get over there, and that's going to land just by that end line, and it's a 5-1 lead.
Excellent placement right there from Flesner, dropping it right in between Smith and High on the back line for Wheaton.
Excuse me, a 4-1 lead now as Anderson sets up Gers, tries to get that little cross-court shot, but Millikin's ready for it that time. The slam, and then Major just can't quite react fast enough to put that ball back in play.
Another point where the Thunder look a little bit disjointed. There was some offensive miscommunication there. Anderson going back over her head. Gers had to readjust because she wasn't right where Anderson put it initially. So Wheaton will be frustrated with the start to this second.
That's a good try there from Anderson to try to save that ball, but just was able to get contact on it but couldn't put it in play. So Millikin with arguably an even faster start to this second set, up 6-1 early. Gers! Again, we're seeing these change-ups really work well for the Thunder, as that play goes to illustrate once again.
Yeah, their attack percentage is considerably better on these light touches than it is on the full strikes. Once again, a clever play right there from the senior who's serving now for Wheaton. We'll see if she can help lead a little comeback here at the beginning of the second.
I wonder if that's going to have to be the move just because this Millikin defense is so strong. This is Colleen Smith. Stewart finds it. Rushing over to get it there is Brown. And the Thunder with another point, so within 2 now.
Little unforced error right there from Millikin. Not the best set initially. Reese Brown having to track back and try to knock it over her head. Fell on the wrong side of the court for the Big Blue.
Here's Gers. Here's the set. Here's the spike, but Allie High gets it, and then a beautiful diving play. Smith is going to get it over the net. The Thunder are going to have to defend again, but that's an amazing play, and it's out. Wow, incredible sequence on the side of the Thunder to pick up that point.
That's exactly right, John Mark. That might be the best defensive effort we see all night from Allie High. There's a reason she tops the conference in digs. We saw it right there. Excellent play from the junior. Wheaton admittedly helped out at the end there from the attack error by Millikin, but they had to keep that point alive in the first place to even get that
Wow.
one.
That was incredible. I was confused by that. I saw the slam coming and just two-hand placement right over on the far side.
Take your hat off to Cameron Flesner, another senior who knows exactly what she's doing. We're seeing all sorts of fancy touches here tonight from both teams.
Well, I think I was as surprised as the Thunder players were on that. Nice job by High, gets it over. That's nice, beautiful slam from Brogan.
It's about as good as contact as you can make with the volleyball. Briley Brogan putting some heat on that one. Nothing Millikin could do defensively to keep that point alive.
Here's Major. This is going to be set by Brown. Tapped over, but immediately rejected by Brogan. Gers to Smith. Slam goes off the block. Tap backwards, and then nice job to time the jump there. And here's Smith. Open hand, but a diving play by Vassilo. And that's Marley Anderson there yet again. Found again by Vassilo. Set by Brown. Off the top, and that's going to be a point, and a marathon point for the Millikin Big Blue.
Yeah, really impressive by both teams. These two squads giving 110% right now on the court. That was anyone's guess which team was going to pull out that point. Unfortunate there for Audrey Gers with the final touch just looping over her head. But fair play to Millikin. That was another excellent rally.
Anderson. Whew. That was Kaylee Byerly.
Just kind of shoveled it over.
Yeah, this play looks like in spike ball when you get called for the kind of the hold, when you like palm the whole ball and just like whip it down.
It's a little alley-oop right there.
Yeah,
went and slammed it down.
Exactly. Gonna get a whistle here. And looks like an infraction on the side of Millikin even before the ball was over the net, so puts the Thunder within just 1 point.
Yeah, head coach Debbie Kick there asking for an explanation on the far side. That's the reason for this brief stoppage in play. But it certainly works in Wheaton's favor, cutting this deficit to 1. Little momentum here for the home side. The second set following a similar trajectory to the first one, with Millikin getting the early advantage and then Wheaton kind of waking up and rallying to get back into the set. We'll see if they can come all the way back to tie this one up.
That's Gers getting under it. Anderson cross to Smith. Off the block, and then no one's there to find it, so we're all knotted up at 8.
Colleen Smith on that far side going to work once again. Not the most powerful shot we've seen from the senior, but it was enough to throw Millikin off defensively. And a great rally here from Wheaton, but whew.
That's just a lot. That's just a lot to handle from number 3, Flesner.
That was quite an exit. She made the kill and then ran right off to get substituted. She's got places to be on this Tuesday night.
Said, all right, I'm good. That's enough for me. I've done my job.
Oh yeah, we talked about how Tori Stewart was probably the MVP of the first set. I think Cameron Flesner is staking a claim to that title here in the second for Millikin.
And it looks like they might have actually reversed that call that we saw earlier, as now it's a 2-point lead for Millikin. Was tied 8-8, so just to note there that as that's going to be out of play, so that puts Millikin up by 3.
Yeah, the combination of those 2 points proving to be a momentum swing here for the visitors. Kaylee Byerly a little bit unlucky, that one just creeping wide of the near sideline.
Kluhar rushing over to get his Anderson sliding, is able to get there. Here's the set, and then Gers just can't quite get the dig on that play.
Jesse Crater once again in the middle blocker position, getting the decisive touch from Millikin. Audrey Gers was doing well to slide into position there, but just couldn't quite keep it alive with all the power generated by that shot.
Anderson sets to Smith, gets it back. Here's High, gonna want to get it back to Smith and does so. Goes for the change up, but it's handled this time by Millikin, and then the slant up. Beautiful dig there from Gers. Colleen Smith, but handled once again, then rushing forward to get there is the Millikin defender. Try it again. That's number 5, Byerly. Here's the slam from Stewart, but decides not to. Goes for a little bit of a mid-range shot there. Here's Smith, and that's off the block, and finally the Thunder break through.
Yeah, and it feels like Millikin has won almost all of the long rally points tonight, so that'll be big for Wheaton's momentum there to get one of their own. Good finishing touch there from the senior Smith once again. Still a 3-point lead here for Millikin. Wheaton really needed that one to fall their way.
Set goes to Brown, and this time it's Millikin finding the momentum again.
Yeah, Marley Anderson was visibly displeased with herself. That one may have been going out anyway. She chose to play it safe and try to get a touch on that one, and that meant that Millikin earned the point.
Now it's Vassallo to serve. Anderson gonna set it up and then blocked directly down, so not able to react in time is Kaylee Byerly to keep that ball in play.
Yeah, the set was just a little bit too low from Anderson. She didn't give Byerly much to work with right there. The disappointing connection for those two senior players as Millikin stretched the lead.
Yeah, when those sets aren't working well, Millikin has been there every time on the block. Here's Gers. That's off of the arms of Vassallo.
Marley Anderson doesn't mess up back-to-back sets. Determined to rectify the mistake on the last point. Perfect assist right there for Gers on the far side.
Allie High. It's going to go to number 5, Itzenhauser, and out of play.
It's a common theme that we've seen for these first two sets. One team will build a lead, and then the next team will carve out a couple of points, and they'll be aided by an attack error from the opposition. This time it's Millikin making the mistake. And a much-needed little spurt of points here for Wheaton. Let's see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, Millikin has, I don't think has trailed yet in this game. I don't think the Thunder have been able to find a lead so far in this game, and that's nice, just splitting the blockers, putting it right between Anderson and Major.
That's Tori Stewart once again on this near side. She's been quiet by her standards in this second set, but that was a clever touch right there from the junior.
Reese Brown will go back to serve. Allie High, Anderson, Major, absolutely right at the peak of her jump, finds the slam. That's a perfect set from Anderson.
Yeah, that's a good call right there, John Mark. Peak of her jump. I was just about to say the hesitation was the key right there from Major. You could tell she wanted to hit it early, and then she just held off a second. That allowed her to catch it right at the perfect time. Can't fault the contact right there.
Yeah, and just changing those rhythms is so huge because it changes the way the blockers, you know, make contact with the ball and puts them in different positions as their jumps are timed differently because of that. So that one's going to be out of play. So yeah, exactly like you said, like as soon as the Thunder seem to get back in it a little bit, they make an error like that and give away the point that they just, you know, worked so hard to win in that last volley. Smith, and that's put into the net. And so 2 straight errors on the side of the Thunder puts them back down by 5.
Yeah, not a good sign when Colleen Smith is making attack errors. She's been one of the most clinical players in the conference this season. Ball was just a little bit behind her, had to readjust from an unfriendly position. As we see an unfortunate break right there for Allie High off the serve. And all of a sudden, Millikin have clear daylight in the second set.
Yeah, huge ace. So 3 straight points on the side of Millikin that they haven't really had to work too hard for. And they're extending this lead to levels that are going to be hard to manage. Major Rushing up to get his Vassallo. Here's the spike, and Allie High, she's always going to get under it. The question is whether she can keep it in play, and that time she couldn't.
Well, Lauren Brummel hasn't been the most called name tonight, but when she has popped up, it has often been very decisive for Millikin. Another big hit right there from the senior on the far side, and a timeout here for Wheaton.
Now, it's very similar to the first set where we saw Thunder kind of start to lose track of the game and call a timeout, try to get things settled down, but yeah, it's going to be a tough hole to dig out of down 7. And Millikin only has to put up 7 more to close out this game, so we'll see if the Thunder can do it. It's been tough sledding for them so far.
Yeah, and at this point, it's as much psychological as anything else for Wheaton coming into this one. They talked about how these two teams are evenly split in the conference at 5-3. Wheaton winning the first matchup, but Wheaton have really struggled for form in the last couple of weeks, and Millikin have not. So it looked like an even matchup on paper, but there has been one team that has come to play tonight, and it's not a lack of effort that we're seeing from the Thunder, just some poor execution, some mistakes at critical times. We'll see if they can turn things around out of this timeout, but it'll be really hard to get themselves out of a 2-set deficit against such a talented Millikin team if they do in fact drop the second one.
Yeah, this just seems, it's hard to get in that winning mindset when you haven't won since October 12th. And that's exactly the sort of position that the Thunder are in. They just haven't felt like what it, experienced what it feels like to win a volleyball game in quite a little bit, but they're gonna try. That's a good start from Gers right out of the timeout.
Seeing a little bit of emotion right there from Wheaton. Marley Anderson and Audrey Gers linking up for the powerful finish. That's quite a message to send coming out of a timeout.
Gers will go back to serve it. That's Stewart placing it over. Here's a arc. Okay, so that's going to be an infraction on the side of Millikin. So Thunder with 2 straight points, and the crowd getting into it now.
It's another little break there for Wheaton coming off of that Millikin mistake. Audrey Gers forcing it with a good serve. We'll see if she can get another one here.
Nice play by Stewart. Picking that one up off the floor. Blocked by the Thunder. It's played over to Stewart again, who goes directly into the net. So that's some momentum able to be found here by the Thunder.
You got to say, coming out of the timeouts tonight, Wheaton has consistently looked like the better team. The question is, can they sustain this momentum and still facing a 4-point deficit? They left themselves quite a hole to dig themselves out of, but it has been a really good response until
that's exactly what we've been seeing all game long. I was almost about to say, I feel like as long as they can keep the ball in play and actually play a point against their opponent, the Thunder have a good shot at it. But that is exactly what you don't want to see, giving that momentum right back.
They haven't committed an egregious number of service errors tonight. It's just coming at really poor
Wrong
times.
times, yeah. Exactly. Here's Smith. Plays it mid-range. Spike. Nice job. That's off the rafters. Has to react really quickly, does Anderson, and she does so. Diving. Oh, that's not going to be Allie High's ball this time, but Smith off of Howell.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, bangs off the rafters again. Should be a free ball for the Thunder. Allie High. Anderson with the set. That's time. It's Brogan. But once again, let's see what happens here as that's off the block, and then High just can't get a hand on it, and a long point once again goes to Millikin.
Well, from a neutral perspective, the MVP of that point was the low ceiling here in King Arena. Certainly a bit of a chaos factor. Both teams having to readjust midpoint. And once again, as you said, Millikin just prevailing after the long rally.
High. Anderson. That's Brogan. Here's number 3. We're going to get an infraction called on the side of Millikin, so another point found for the Thunder. So down by 5 now. And it's really, just going to be a story of if the Thunder can, I think certainly in these last few points have been playing better.
Great
and that's
serve.
going to be an ace for Ashton Major.
Well, it has been feast or famine from the service position all year for Ashton Major. It seems like 80% of her serves are either an ace or an error. Never quite know what to expect from the freshman, but that was a beauty.
And once
Almost
again,
another one.
They're just like dying right as they get over the net, dipping real low and giving the Millikin defenders a hard time, and that's another point. So the Thunder getting some energy now.
Kaylee Byerly, beautiful movement right there on the court from the Thunder, knowing exactly where the ball was going to come. The senior here on the near side slapping it down. And Wheaton have done really well to get themselves back into this one. Millikin looking for a response, and they get it.
They get it, yeah. It's number 13, Prater, excuse me. Also a CCIW second team pick. So actually haven't called her name too much, but certainly one of the more important pieces. Here's going to be Smith. High, going to go to Gers. Dug by Vassilo. Sent over. This time it's Flesner with another kill.
And this second set has been eerily similar to the way that the first one played out. Millikin with the fast start, then Wheaton doing well to make it competitive in the middle. And now we're seeing the Big Blues start to pull away again here at the end of this one. Obviously yet to be decided, but 5 points down at this point in the set is no easy comeback for Wheaton.
Oh. Hard to tell if that just ran straight in the top of the net or if it was the block. We'll get a look at that on the replay.
It looked like some good defending there from Millikin. Brogan may have been able to just get it over the net without that touch from the Big Blue. Once again blocking it at the net. Oh, and you hate to see that right there from Wheaton. Audrey Gers just kind of losing track of the flight path of the ball there, touching off her shoulder before going out of play.
Not sure if there was some uncertainty whether she wasn't sure if it was going to end up going out of play, and that kind of resulted in that. But either way, it's set point now on the side of Millikin. And here's Flesner, and that is just an unfortunate miscommunication, or, you can't really fault Anderson for that because you had High coming over to get that ball. Certainly probably would have gotten there, but goes off the hand to Anderson, and that leads to a 2-set lead for the Millikin Big Blue. The Thunder going to have to make some serious adjustments here to get back in this one. Going to need to reverse sweep. So, and they're going to actually head back, looks like maybe to the locker room to talk about this.
Yeah, interesting move right here from Coach Schmidt, just trying to get her team to refocus. I say that, she's still on the court talking to Allie High, but you know what I mean, the team going back towards the locker room. But yeah, as I said a minute ago, interesting how that second set played out almost identically to the first one. See if the home team can come up with a response here in the third, but Millikin has brought their A game tonight. They've shown why they've been on this winning streak of late, coming into this tournament in good form. And Illinois Wesleyan, obviously a really talented team that's in their groove right now, but if Millikin are able to close this one out in 3, they are good enough to push their neighbors of Central Illinois. How about a score update from North Park Elmhurst, John Mark? I don't have it in front of me.
Let's take a look.
Oh, look out.
Looks like North Park might also end up going up 2-0. They're currently leading 24-19 in the second set. So both of the lower seeds looking to go up 2-0 in their respective matches. A little bit of March Madness here in November. That's what it seems like.
Well, Elmhurst have had an interesting season. They were kind of a late bloomer in conference play. They struggled in non-conference action. I think it was that sweep over Wheaton a few weeks ago that kind of made people sit up and take notice. Ultimately, obviously finishing as the 3 seed in regular season play. A great turnaround there from the Blue Jays, but they are struggling on their home floor.
And the Vikings did just close it out, so they pull ahead 2-0. So the high seeds in some peril tonight already. Going to need to do some work. Going to need reverse sweeps from both of them if they want to advance.
Yeah, and on paper, if you're Illinois Wesleyan and Carthage, you're liking these results. But if you're actually watching the matches, North Park and Millikin are not messing around. I don't think those semifinals are going to be any pushovers.
No, well, and again, if those do end up being the results, those will be the top 4 overall records in the CCIW. So really just being a testament to, the necessity of looking at the overall record when you're judging the strength of teams, for sure. I mean, yeah, so we'll see if those results end up panning out. Obviously still more volleyball to be played. And, I mean, we saw Millikin, as you talked about, be down 2-0 to the Thunder and then come back and knot it up at 2. Obviously fell in the end, but there's no reason that the Thunder can't go ahead and do that as well on their home floor. And yeah, I think a big factor in that is Millikin has been able to get out to really, really fast and strong starts, and the Thunder haven't really seemed to be able to dig themselves out of that hole. So maybe they can put themselves, because they've found those late game surges in both games. Like, they've certainly seemed to outplay Millikin at different stages of the game, but they're just too far behind when that happens.
Yeah, the key to this third set will be the beginning, as you were pointing out. It's really important for Wheaton not to face a big early deficit the way they have in the first two. Nice little reintroduction to the team there coming out of the locker room. We'll see if the energy boost from the crowd translates here on the court. Looks like, yeah, Coach Schmidt just giving her final instructions to her team, but really curious to see the response for both of these teams. Does Millikin take their foot off the gas, or do they just close this one out for a professional tournament opening win on the road?
Yeah, it'd be an impressive victory either way. I mean, you know, strong overall record and not, still to 3-0 your opponent on their home floor. Certainly be a statement victory for Millikin. We are going to get underway here, as this is going to be Reese Brown with the serve. We'll see if the Thunder can get off to a bit of a faster start here. Gers, but tracking that one well is Itzenhauser. And then that is, yeah, just kind of a miss hit there, and the Thunder start off 1-0.
That's exactly how the second set began as well, with an error on the Millikin side of things, but then the Big Blue were able to rattle off the next 3 or 4 points. Let's see if Wheaton can get their first 2-0 lead of the night here.
Gers on the serve, rushing over to find it is Brown. Slammed down, and then a nice diving play from Anderson and keeping it up. Getting it back over the net, but they're going to have to weather another attack, and they do! Beautiful block this time from number 4, Briley Brogan.
I think the energy level in King Arena just reached a new high. Brogan and Major going up in tandem right there, and as you pointed out, that play was all about Marley Anderson off the redirection, keeping that one alive. Big hustle play right there for the Thunder.
Yeah, shout out to the Wheaton Thunder wrestling team for kind of upping the energy here in King Arena. And, you know, we were mentioning before the game even began how large the stands were for the side of Millikin, wondering if this is going to feel more like an away game, but we got some energy now coming from the Thunder fans. And we'll see if the Thunder team can kind of feed off that as they go up 2-1 now. Here's Major, and that's off of the outstretched arms of Brown, 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that's the Ashton Major we've seen all season long. Great play once again in the middle of the floor from the freshman. She is fired up after delivering the hammer blow. And Wheaton's biggest lead of the night, believe it or not.
Yeah, crazily enough. This is the largest lead and the best start the Thunder have experienced all game long. Nice tap, but then Anderson getting over again, and nice teamwork there. That's number 4, Brogan, just getting out of the way as Bunker blocks that. Major gonna set it up nicely for Brogan. Vassallo gets there though. This should be a free ball for the Thunder. Play it up. Anderson gonna look to set it nicely for Smith. Off the block, arcs up, and a nice job by Major again. The Thunder playing so well as a unit right now. Tap cross court by Smith, and the Thunder are playing so well in these early stages.
Hang that in the Louvre. That was a work of art from Colleen Smith, just dropping that on the near sideline beautifully into that space. And as you pointed out at the beginning of the point, Briley Brogan inches away from getting a double touch violation, just ducked out of the way. Great teamwork again from Wheaton.
Major underneath, Bunker. Kept up by Millikin, trying desperately to swing some of this energy back in their favor. Smith gonna look to end it, but that dig goes straight back, and it's gonna be tapped over. Getting under it is Brogan. Anderson with a set. Bunker tries again, but just can't quite break through this defensive scheme. But Flesner, and then it's kept up once again, an incredible sequence. Thunder looking to calm it down a little bit. Brogan, diving dig, and we're gonna get a whistle and a point once again to the Thunder, up 5-1.
Well, for a minute there, I wasn't sure Wheaton were gonna be able to close that one out. Millikin doing a fantastic job of digging deep and keeping that play alive. It just felt like every block and kill that the Thunder were attempting, Millikin had an answer for, but finally the whistle goes in favor of Wheaton. And boy, the home side have generated some momentum at the beginning of this one. That play was just pure perseverance.
Yeah, and a big long set win for the Thunder, something they haven't been able to find much of this game. Getting over is Brown, and that's how to play. So if the Thunder can play this well and get a little bit of help from their friends here, and get some points given to them by Millikin, this could be the recipe for a, obviously early, but could be a recipe for a set win. Major to serve. That's bumped up by Stewart, but then tapped right back down. And this is starting to get a little bit out of hand if you're Millikin. And sensing that, they call a timeout.
It looks like Colleen Smith getting her hand to it. Her and Bunker went up simultaneously. Either way, great final touch right there. As you say, a well-timed timeout here for Coach Kick. She senses her team just beginning to crumble here under the pressure. We're still early on in this third set, so Wheaton have a long way to go if they want to close this one out, but Coach Schmidt could not have asked for a better start from her team.
Yeah, the reverse of what we've seen in those first sets, starting off 7-1. And now it's just up to see if the Thunder can hold this lead all the way to the end, but yeah, obviously still very early. But they have a ton of momentum right now. So yeah, very good timeout call, kind of as you mentioned, to try to stem that tie just a little bit. But the fans are getting into it. You can tell the team is excited and playing well. Just some really good, just teamwork plays, I think, as we were mentioning.
But that's such a boost to have a large crowd here that's being vocal, trying to help you dig out of this two-set hole. I think if this place was empty, we might see a different response from the Wheaton teams. They have definitely fed off this crowd energy here in King Arena right now. But as we said, a long way to go in this third set. This Millikin team haven't messed around yet tonight. Can expect a decent response here from the Big Blue coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, I think you certainly can. Major's going to look to serve again. Try to carry that momentum through the timeout. This feels like you're trying to ice the kicker a little bit. Will the kicker be iced? A little bit already. So Major continues with her struggles from the service line.
It'll be disappointing for her after 3 in a row. Good service placements that led to points for Wheaton. A disappointing break there for the Thunder coming out of that timeout. That's exactly what Millikin needed if they're going to work their way back into this third game.
They get the ball back. Smith, ooh, and that's, I'm not sure who ended up getting that, but is able to be sent over by the Thunder. And then that's a big error this time from Brummel.
Yeah, I think Marley Anderson just kind of apologizing to Allie High there in the huddle. She looked a little overeager initially getting that touch to keep that point alive, but it ultimately worked out in Wheaton's favor.
Yeah, good job to recover from that. Definitely had 2 players rushing to get the ball there. Mia Staub's going to check in. Anderson checks out. And Anderson has really felt like the cornerstone of this Thunder team so far in this game.
Yeah, first appearance all night for Mia Staub, the senior coming in to serve here for Wheaton. Anderson getting her first break on the bench.
Yeah, I think we're definitely used to seeing a little bit more of Staub, but Anderson's been playing so well as here's a big block on the side of the Thunder. Both Bunker and number 10. That's Caroline Capps, another name we haven't heard too much of, but providing a much-needed spark as the Thunder have to win everything in this match if they want to pull out a match win. No more room for error. That's fought off by Staub. This is going to be Smith. That's an impressive hit and forces that to just be sent over, but then dunks down, rolls across the top of the net. Bunker dives to get there, but just can't quite do it.
Yeah, it actually looked like a strange mishit there. That was Jessie Crater right in the center of the floor going up, and I don't know how intentional that was. She kind of placed it right on top of the net. Colleen Smith doing well to dive down to try to keep it alive, but ultimately it breaks for Millikin.
Staub with the set. Bunker gets it back. Nice reaction. Hits it like 3 times within the span of a few seconds, and that goes out of play.
Yeah, unintentional 1-2 there between Bunker and a teammate. Not sure how much they meant to do that, but it worked out pretty nicely there for the Thunder. Getting it to fall on the right side of the net before the attack error.
Smith on the serve this time. That's number 5, Itzenhauser. This is nice job. Bunker directing traffic straight to Gers, who puts it away.
Yeah, she barely even had to leave the floor. Just kind of reached up and caressed the ball straight over the net to give Wheaton this 8-point advantage. Heads up play once again from the senior.
Smith on the serve. This time it's Itzenhauser again. Capps gets a touch on that. Slapped over. That should be well out of play, and it is. Colleen Smith with a good eye. Thunder up 12-3.
It was such a big lead here approaching the middle of this set. Interested to see how Coach Kick's squad plays this one. Are they going to give 100% and try to work their way back into this one, or are they content just to kind of let Wheaton have this third set and start prepping for number 4? There's a little bit of a response there.
Yeah, big response. Nice job on the side of Millikin.
I think it's the opposite of what we said in the second set. If Millikin can keep the ball in play, they have a chance coming off of these long rallies, but they've made a number of uncharacteristic attack errors here in this second set that have allowed Wheaton to develop this big lead, or in this third set, excuse me.
Hitzenhauser, Alley high with the dig, and that's Caps getting all of that. But it's going to be sent over. Now here's Pluhar, Staub on the set. Gers out of play.
Yeah, one foot shorter and the roof would have come off this place. The fans were ready for another Audrey Gers kill, just pushing that ball a bit too long. A much needed break there for the Big Blue.
That's out again, so yeah, Millikin suffering from a lot of the things that we saw the Thunder struggling with in the first two sets. Service errors and just unable to keep the ball in play. Thunder will absolutely take it though, as Alley High is on the serve now. This is back to Stewart. Beautiful dig from High. Gers arcs one over, and that is just absolutely gorgeous play from both High and Gers.
You cannot ask for a better defensive to offensive transition right there. Alley High once again displaying why she leads the conference in digs and digs per set, and then Audrey Gers doing what she does best with the ball, just plopping it right where she needed to.
Woo! But okay, wow, I was about to say if High...
That was a good play all around.
Yeah, that was
Wheaton unable to keep
play.
it alive, but nice idea from both teams. Good touch ultimately from Millikin just to sneak it over the net.
It did look like High got under that one to me with the pancake. I don't know. Either way, the point does go to Millikin. Vassilo, Staub, Caps, and that's right between the Millikin defenders for another point.
We could hear the contact on that ball all the way up here, clear as day. That was a smooth finish right there from the freshman as we see Anderson check back into the game. And suffice it to say, we did not expect Wheaton to have a 9-point lead in the middle of this third set. It's been quite the response from the Thunder.
Keeping it up, Stewart. It's going to be a free ball for the Thunder. Major. Then sent. Ooh, that's a nice, tricky play from Reese Brown. That was almost like behind the back, it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
nice.
A thing of beauty. The setter turning outside hitter with a play like that. Little reverse changeup right there from the sophomore.
Yeah, just so clean. Now she'll serve, and that's Puhar not getting what she wanted on it, so that's the ace for Millikin.
Yeah, comfortable lead for Wheaton, but not an insurmountable one. So they'll have to wake up a little bit here in this third set just to make sure their lead is secure as we see a little comeback attempt here from Millikin. Nice play from the visitors as they get another big block right there.
Yeah, I think that set might have just been a little bit too low for Major. She, didn't really have a ton of space to get on top of it. Ended up just putting it straight into the block.
Something you can't afford to do against a team that specializes in the block.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, a little bit of a changeup there, and Major, just with the drive-by, throws it over. Getting up in time is High. Gonna go to Gers, cross court. Nice adjustment on the side of Millikin to get across to save that, but we're gonna have an infraction called, and the Thunder will take that for sure, go back up by 7.
A little double hit there from Reese Brown, triggering the referee's whistle as we see Colleen Smith replace Pluhar. Back to a 7-point advantage for Wheaton, a critical point here in this third set.
Gers to serve. This is up to Brown. Cross to Stewart. Nice job by High to get there. Anderson changes it up. Looks to elevate and get to the net, and that is in. Yeah, there just wasn't really anyone there for the Thunder. Got a little bit out of position.
Yeah, some defensive miscommunication. Well placed there by Millikin to earn that point. The best part of that point, though, was the crowd reaction off the Marley Anderson touch. You could hear the "oh" from the fans in attendance here. I've seen a number of tricky plays like that tonight from both sides. Busting out all their tricks.
Anderson to Smith. Diving play by Vassilo to keep it alive. Free ball for the Thunder. Anderson tries it again. This time it's Major. And that's off the hands of Tori Stewart.
Ashton Major does not let chances like that get away. That was a perfect set from Anderson, and Major can finish hits like that all day long as we see a timeout here from Coach Kick. Wheaton doing well to get the momentum back on their side here in this third set.
Yeah, the Thunder are doing a good job of playing with kind of two different looks we've seen from them, whether it's playing with Mia Staub or Naomi Bunker, or going with the, the Colleen Smith, Marley Anderson duo that we've seen for probably the majority of this game, but showing that they have a lot of players that can make contributions. And I think, the players coming off the bench like Bunker, like Caps, have been just a huge asset for them in this game and have been a big part of this 7-point lead that the Thunder currently enjoy. But speaking of 17-10 leads, that's also the score, or was the score until North Park scored again, 18-10 North Park. So looking to just pull off the straight up sweep over Elmhurst.
That would be a result to raise a few eyebrows there. I'm sure the Carthage team is monitoring that one closely. And like I said before, you'd think they'd rather play North Park just based on the seeding, but with the way the Vikings have played tonight, not so sure the Firebirds will be so confident after a performance like that. That'll be an interesting one to watch on Thursday if North Park are able to close that one out.
Yep, and of course Thunder saw North Park towards the end of the season and got to see a little bit of what's making them play so well as we get back into this one. And Major again, continuing with the service woes.
These timeouts are killing her. She finds into her groove, and then Millikin takes the timeout and she commits a service error on the next one. Another unfortunate timed mistake there from the Thunder. Still a pretty cushy 6-point lead, but Millikin have proven time and again tonight that they are good enough to go on a run at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, first time that we're going to see them have to do that in this game, as that's out of play, despite the diving effort from the Millikin player.
Yeah, that was good restraint right there from Sophia Howell, getting down to the ground, just pulled her hand out at the last second to avoid touching that as it went out of play.
Now she'll serve it. Gers bumps it up and out of play, so 2 quick points out of the timeout for Millikin. And they're going to have to reconvene here and make sure that they're head in the right place as they try to close this one out. 4-point lead is really not that large. Certainly gonna have to play well down the stretch, as that's off the top of the net from Brogan. Fought off by Brogan, found by Anderson. Bunker's gonna get to tap it over. And that is a huge play.
A little bit sloppy from Wheaton, but they'll take it. Not the best contact from Brogan or Bunker there at the end of the point, but a much needed one for Wheaton as we see Staub check back in to serve. And at this point, if Wheaton are going to win this third set, they have to make sure to not let Millikin claim the moral victory. If they're able to work their way back into this one and turn it into a nail-biter, that doesn't bode well for Wheaton heading into the fourth.
Flesner drops the hammer with authority, picks up the point for Millikin.
Malice of forethought right there from Cameron Flesner. Nothing you can do about that. Just get out of the way and just save yourself the pain.
There's high, Staub to Caps. Nice sync up there between the two players off the bench.
Not a bad response there for the freshmen. Millikin are able to get a touch at the net on that point, but not nearly enough to redirect it from Caps.
Smith serves, set up by Brown, and responding nicely is Millikin.
Yeah, keeping with the first 2 sets and that it's going back and forth here in the middle part of this game. See if Millikin can harness this little boost of momentum. Still a 4-point deficit to overcome, but I think they're feeling better than they were during that last time out.
Staub with the set, Caps again. Staub gets underneath the ball after the block. Gers changes it up, and that was kind of a you got it, do you got it? And none of them had it. The Thunder within 5 points of closing this out.
Yeah, you can talk about the poor defending there from Millikin, but give Audrey Gers a lot of credit for being able to exploit that space off of the confusion. Wheaton the first to 20 for the first time tonight. Big stretch coming up here for the home side.
Whew, that was tricky too, but Major responds immediately. Not fooled whatsoever. It was like a little bit like outside the arm hit on the side of Millikin, but yeah, Major said, I don't think so.
Yeah, another example of a ball just setting up perfectly for Ashton Major, and she makes her reputation in positions like that, going up, elevating above the net, just burying it perfectly on the far side.
High. Here's Gers. Beautiful dig from Howell. Stewart diving, trying to get there is High once again, but it's Stewart racking up another kill.
Yeah, that point really started with the great dig, as you said, from Howell to keep that alive for Millikin. Big Blue doing well to earn that point eventually, cut it back down to a 5-point deficit as we see Vasilo try to serve and cut that lead even more from a Millikin perspective.
Vasilo tees up the serve, and Gers gets that one teed up to her.
I think everyone was a little hesitant there. The late call there from the line judge, Millikin players and coaches looking around, but Wheaton wasted no time in celebrating another Audrey Gers kill.
Thunder closing in on their first set win of the night. Anderson try to tee that off, but it's Stewart crushing it to the middle of the court.
Yeah, we have called her name less and less as the night has gone on, but a great reminder of what Tori Stewart can bring to the floor right there. There was no stopping that ball. Another big point there for Millikin. Wheaton closing in on this third set victory, but it's far from secure.
There's Major, and that's going to be in. Wow, must have just been perfectly placed in that close corner.
Yeah, that was the volleyball equivalent of upper 90. She placed that exactly where she needed to. There was no doubt about it. Once again, Millikin players and officials taking a little time to make the call, but Ashton Major knew exactly where that ball had landed.
That is going to go to Stewart. Blocked off the block, but nice reaction on it. Tipping it, unbelievable. From Brogan to Major, just getting a finger on it and getting the point.
Well, how much did Briley Brogan and Ashton Major know about that? I have no idea what the level of intent there was, but take nothing away from the end result. Once again, the senior to freshman connection. Ashton Major with a real heads-up play for the Thunder.
Stewart, and then the block again. That's Brogan. And Ashton Major likes what she sees on that play, and the Thunder are now within one set, down 2-1.
They started this third game perfectly, and they finished it perfectly. An authoritative closeout point there from Briley Brogan, and that is the kind of response that Coach Schmidt wanted to see out of her team. We were in for a 5-set thriller when these two teams met the first time this year. How about another one? We'll see if Wheaton can get it done in this fourth set. But I hate to bring it up, John Mark. Millikin, as I said before, 8-0 in 4-set games this year. Can they add a 9th to their tally, or can Wheaton break the trend here?
Yeah, Millikin might be going, we got him right where we want him at this point. Undefeated, yeah, as you said, in 4-game sets.
I talked about Wheaton playing for the 5-game. Maybe Millikin's playing for the 4 game.
Yeah, who knows, maybe. I mean, yeah, I feel like if the Thunder maybe got to do a little bit run out the doors and come back in like they did before, if it's going to
that's the secret.
If it's going to prompt that sort of play out of them.
Well, undoubtedly this crowd certainly made a difference in that third set. People were a little slow to arrive in that first set, and take nothing away from Millikin. They used that to their advantage, but this third set was by far the loudest we've heard this venue tonight, and the crowd will need to bring the energy again here in the fourth if Wheaton's going to claim the win. And John Mark, special shout out to the people spending their Tuesday night with us watching this match. They could be watching the World Series right now, and instead they're watching collegiate volleyball. You love to see it.
That is true. I completely forgot that the World Series was going on right now. Dang, Braves up 3-0.
Spoiler alert, if any of you listening had it recorded, and we're going to watch it later.
Yeah, our bad.
Fair warning.
Fair warning.
Braves are up 3-0.
3-0, third inning.
Oh, it's been a night for away teams. North Park and Millikin winning right now. Braves up 3-0. This is interesting. Speaking of which, did the Vikings close it out? Do we have a full-time score from Elmhurst?
They are up. They're set point, up 24-21 over Elmhurst. So, and they just did. Wow. There we go. As we were watching it, North Park closes out Elmhurst.
Goodness.
The 6 seed upsetting the 3 seed, winning 25-15, 25-19, 25-21. Elmhurst every game got a little bit better, but not quite better enough.
Well, and Carthage still licking their wounds from the defeat at Illinois Wesleyan the other night to miss out on the conference title. Got to turn around and play this streaking North Park team. That is, I mean, it makes sense for the Firebirds would be favored on paper, but I think that could be a sneaky good semifinal matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just seeing how North Park is playing. They have all of the momentum, all of the reason to be excited about their chances. Putting away the number 3 seed. Certainly, yeah.
My freshman year of college, our team was the number 8 seed in the conference tournament, the lowest ranked team in the tournament. They went all the way and won the championship against the odds. So we could be seeing something similar here from North Park.
Yeah, this is true. Certainly, we have seen lower seeds do this consistently. I mean, as a hockey fan, you see it in the NHL all the time. 8 seeds doing crazy things. Shout out to the Montreal Canadiens last year doing that. Worst team in the playoffs and win all the way. So
that's the beauty of conference tournament action, is that it's just a bunch of one-off games in quick succession.
Yeah.
You can be the best team in the conference, but if you don't show up that night, there is no room for error. If you make a mistake, you're out. It's win or go home. That's the beauty of postseason. And we have seen quite a battle already from these two teams. Millikin might win this one 25-0 and end it 3-1 for all we know. We have no idea how this one's going to play out, but the first 3 sets have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we'll see. Again, we've seen the team that takes a hold of the game early on has been the team that's gotten the win in the end. So I think and we haven't really seen a close early phase yet. It's either one team is just kind of dominating as we have a nice series of hits here. Getting over there is Anderson, then blocked down. Big defensive play to start this one for Millikin.
Yeah, and a big swing of momentum just within the point. It looked like Wheaton had a successful block to start off the point. Millikin dug it out, kept that one alive, and a nice finish right there for the Big Blue. And that's a great point that you made, John Mark. Just, are we finally going to see a back and forth one, or is another team going to jump out to an early lead? Because as you said, that has been the key for the 3 sets in terms of how they ultimately finished.
Yeah, we've seen like 4-0 starts, 7-1 starts, but not really any close calls. I'm curious if that would have gone out, but it ends up being played anyway, and Gers gets the kill regardless.
Little energy there from Coach Schmidt on the far side, liking what she sees from her team off that point. Audrey Gers once again making the difference. She's had a solid performance here in potentially her last match in King Arena.
Stewart bumps it over. Here's the set. That's reaching back to get that. The Millikin attacker diving dig there from Stewart. Flesner goes cross court. Colleen Smith with a nice play to get there. And then Gers, that's off the block, found by Stewart. Tapped up again, Flesner again, but a big block. Brogan has been key to the Thunder on the defensive end in these recent stages.
Took the words out of my mouth, John Mark. As good as her attacking play has been at times tonight, Briley Brogan defensively coming up with a number of huge blocks and deflections that have worked in the Thunder's favor. And a good job by the home side to turn around that early 1-0 deficit.
Anderson puts it up behind her. Smith.
Oh, wow.
Just too strong for Stewart to handle.
If you want a play that'll get the crowd off their seats, Colleen Smith is the player to call. Excellent connection once again from the senior. Millikin have to be careful to avoid the early 6-7-1 deficit that they faced in the 3rd set. Big point coming up here.
Nice change up trick play there. Tapped over again. Trying for the cross court. That's Flesner. Twice in a row we've seen that now. Brogan ranging over Stewart to get under that one. And we've seen that play a few times. But Smith has been there every time and now goes for the kill, but dug by Stewart. That should be out, and it is. Good eye from Allie High. The Thunder off to a strong start.
You love the midpoint confidence there from Wheaton's number 8. She's already got her finger in the air before that ball's even hit the ground. How many great rallies have we seen between these two teams tonight? Another point where it was impossible to predict the outcome.
Nice behind the back set. Good block though. Smith and Ashton Major elevating. Major elevates again. Doesn't get a hand on that this time, but it's okay as Smith, once again, Smith is taking over right now.
I think there's going to be a mark on Tori Stewart's arms after some contact like that. Colleen Smith with a confident nod of the head after delivering another powerful blow.
Smith showing why she's a first-team All-CCIW player, leading the Thunder in kills on the season. And a nice response, though, this time Flesner putting in the work and getting the kill.
I was going to say, it's no surprise that Colleen Smith and Allie High have been at the heart of everything good for Wheaton tonight, but there really hasn't been a Thunder player that's had a bad performance so far. It's been a great team effort, particularly from the third set on. But a nice point right there from Millikin to try to get themselves back into this fourth set.
Howell. Smith plays it nicely to the center of the court. Brogan finds it again. Nice reaction from all these players. High and unbelievable. Saw that, did not see that coming, but High.
How cheeky was that?
Wow.
I don't know if she knew that there wasn't a Millikin player there or if she was willing to just give them the free ball, but she could not have asked for that to work out any better than it did. That was excellent. Another trick play to add to the collection that we've seen tonight.
Looked like when a fly ball drops between three outfielders right there. No one able to get it. Here's Anderson to set it, getting over, and it gets over the net. So impressive job just to get over the net, but it will be out of play.
Well, if a point like that had fallen for Wheaton, there would have been some suspicious stuff going on in King Arena, because that was definitely a bit of a fluke hit there. Millikin will be glad to see that one fall out of bounds. Got a couple points here for the Big Blue, and we could have that back and forth beginning to the set that we've been looking for.
And that's Anderson trying to reach out and get enough contact on that ball to get over the net, but can't quite do it, so Millikin now within 4. And yeah, definitely the closest start we've seen. And that's out. Good eye. Wow. Gers seemed to know exactly where that was going.
It's amazing how almost all the service errors from both teams tonight have been when the losing team is trying to work their way back into the game. The winning team has done an excellent job of maintaining their service play, but not the first time we've seen a poorly timed service error costing the team that's playing from behind.
As we see kind of the big 3 subs for the Thunder enter the game with Staub, Bunker, and Caps, and that's out again. Yeah, back-to-back now from Millikin.
Heads up play from the senior Staub there, just pulling her hands away at the last second. It's such an instinctive thing. You're used to trying to dig the ball out and keep it in play, but that was great game awareness right there from the veteran.
There's the set now. Stewart gets rejected by Caps. Smith. Back, and nice job by High. Get the hands up. Caps again off the net, and it's out. And that's one of the few times that hitting that play didn't really assist Caps in getting that ball in the net, ball in play.
Yeah, that was a tough one to call. It almost looked like it hit a Millikin player. I think they got out of the way at the last second, so unfortunate break there for the freshman Caps. But a high energy start to this one from both teams. We've seen some great points already in this fourth set.
There's the serve from Itzenhauser. Caps, beautiful dig by Howell. Goes straight over the net though. Staub gonna put it to Colleen, who reaches over, and the diving play from Howell. One hand gets it back over the net. Caps with the slam. Under it yet again is Itzenhauser. Try again, blocked again. Will it be? And it's Stewart. Might take a bounce off the rafters, and it goes straight into the bench and out of play. Great play from Millikin to just weather the storm and get that point.
Yeah, we have seen some phenomenal effort here from Sophia Howell, especially from Millikin, doing her best Allie High impression, pulling out the ridiculous saves.
Oh, yeah.
Seen some excellent digs here and she's only a freshman, makes it even more impressive. Almost single-handedly keeping the Big Blue in this set.
2 huge saves from her on that last play. Staub leaves it for High, who leaves it for Smith. Bumped up by Brown. Slapped down, and Bunker just maybe mistiming her jump just a little bit there.
Yeah, surprisingly isolated there for that block. Smith and Caps had already backed off. Bunker having to go up alone. As you said, just a little bit of faulty contact there from the junior. Big play there for Millikin as they work their way back into this one.
Staub to Gers. Holy moly, that sound off of that was incredible. Stewart gets it over. Now diving is Gers, sending it right back over, and another diving play from Howell, playing so well, but the infraction will be called and the point goes to the Thunder. Shout out to Howell here, though, on the effort plays and back-to-back points.
Yeah, if Millikin are able to close this one out in 4, it'll be because of their defensive effort from players like Howell. They have really come to play defensively in this 4th set as we see a costly mistake there from Smith off the serve.
Yeah,
Wheaton throwing everything they have at this Millikin team, and the Big Blue have largely done a great job of kind of weathering the storm. I know they're still down by 1 here in this 4th, but entertaining start, to say the least, to this 4th set.
And that error in character with what we've seen kind of be a theme in this game. That's Bunker getting over there and dropping to her knees as Itzenhauser to find that one. Then a big block. I think that's Caps again.
Caps and Bunker going up simultaneously, but yeah, it was the freshman number 10 getting the two-handed touch over the net. Coach Schmidt, the big smile on her face, she's got to be so pleased from the response for her team after falling behind by 2 sets.
Whew! That would have been an ace for sure, but then we have another block. The Thunder racking up these blocks now.
I'm not sure there was a touch. I think it was just an attack error there from Tori Stewart. Not used to seeing that. She has cooled off as this match has gone on. We'll see if she can work her way back into this one. Big point there for Wheaton.
Staub gonna get over to Caps. Rushing over to find his Vassallo. Here's Stewart, and there we go. That's kind of what we expect to see from her. Again, she's been a little bit quieter as the game has progressed, but stepping up when the moment matters.
Yeah, it's a confidence booster right there for the junior, reasserting herself into this one. Started with a great anticipation from Vassallo just to keep that play alive defensively for Millikin. And a point here for the Big Blue would signal a real shift in momentum.
Here's Caps. Here's Brown. Nice try by High. She got there, but the one arm just could not get enough contact on that ball.
Great offensive efficiency once again from Millikin, beginning to find their groove here in this 4th set. Wheaton have done a good job of keeping them at bay so far, and a costly service error once again.
So this is a close game. At the middle stage is probably the closest we've seen thus far.
Yeah, this is the first one where it's kind of impossible to predict how it's going to turn out. We saw the losing team going kind of middle of the set rallies in the first 3, but it was pretty clear which team was ultimately going to come out on top. Not so this time around.
Rushing forward is Anderson to find that one. High to Gers. Nice job getting under that. Now it's Itzenhauser, plays it across. Stewart gets it. Nice turn by Anderson to get that. It's going to be Brogan. Plays the ball pretty, and that's going to be off the block. I think that's off of Gers. That's number 6, Brummel with the kill.
Once again, a big play offensively for Millikin when they needed it the most. Said earlier how Brummel has kind of faded in and out of this match. She hasn't been the star player, but she has come up with some seriously good timed points for Millikin. 2nd team all-conference. We're seeing why here.
Anderson. That is Gers with a huge hit, and then nice play by Major to keep that up. A little bit of miscommunication there from the Thunder, but they work it out. Here's Flesner. Nice job by Smith. High has to just send it over, but great defensive plays from the Thunder right now. Tapped over and down. I think that's number 9, Gibbs.
Yeah, Major and Brogan were in the area, but just couldn't get that block to fall back over the net. Another big point there for Millikin to tie it at 12. And this one is awfully finely poised.
Stewart, ooh. Okay, interesting play. Anderson gets it over to the other side, but obviously played under the net.
A rare receiving error there from Allie High. We're not used to seeing that from the junior. A little bit of mental mistakes now for the Thunder. We'll see if Millikin can capitalize.
High. Here's Gers. Oh, off the top of the net, but a nice diving recovery, this time from Brown. Slammed off the block by Brogan, and there's no one there in the middle of the court to find it.
A little bit fortuitous there for Wheaton offensively at that bounce off the top of the fingertips there of a couple of Millikin players, but they'll take it. They desperately needed a point in this 4th set. Good way for them to tie back up at 13.
Now Gers. Vasilo getting there, set by Brown, slammed by Flesner. Nice diving dig. This time from Gers again. Slapped straight back over. Interesting decision there. Brogan. Vasilo gets there. Brown sets. High again. Great plays by High all throughout this game, then getting 2 hands up.
Wow.
Diving to keep it in play. Incredible play from Millikin. Colleen Smith sent over again. Anderson sets it, slammed off the net from Brogan, kept up once again by Vasilo. Anderson to Major, and finally gets the kill. What a volley!
Well, that series deserved to finish like that, regardless of which team it came from. Give Millikin a whole lot of credit for doing their best to keep that play alive, but Ashton Major just couldn't let that chance get away. And I think we all need a timeout, just to take a deep breath, collect our thoughts. I don't know if that was a momentum called timeout or if just like a let's just settle down here kind of timeout.
I think that was just a collective. Everyone needs to take a breather after that volley. Who called that timeout? Well, anyway,
I believe it was Millikin. I actually did not see which way the referee pointed, but I think, as we said, both teams could benefit from a little breather here. But man, full credit to both of these sides. Both coaches have to be really pleased with the effort and the intensity. I think we're seeing a cleaner fourth set, not quite as many mental mistakes and errors. Both teams determined not to lose this set for different reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Wheaton are just 12 points from their season coming to an end, but you wouldn't know it from the way that they're playing and the way that they're holding their heads up in the huddle.
And Thunder always seem to have a lot of joy and a lot of positivity when they play, no matter the situation or the stakes. Certainly seeing that come out from them right now. But yeah, this game really seems like a culmination of kind of what we expected, as both teams aren't putting up quite as many errors, like you said. So that large lead hasn't been able to been found by either of these teams yet, and that's why it's as close as it is, showing that these teams are so evenly matched. It's been a great matchup so far, very exciting. Some long volleys, and finally, yeah, back and forth game.
Well, John Mark, I'm just glad I did not fill out a CCIW tournament bracket before this one started.
Bracket busted.
It would already be busted with the way these two matches have gone. This one just impossible to call.
It could go either way, as that's dug by number 4 Vasilo, but spins out of play. Thunder extend their lead to 2. Suddenly seems like a whole lot in this game. Here's Gers. Nice job by Vasilo to get under it. Slammed across and then High once again, diving, gets contact on the ball. But a nice kill.
Yeah, great contact right there for Millikin. Looks like one of the players on the far side getting the decisive touch. Much needed boost there for the Big Blue coming out of that timeout, still with a 1-point deficit, but won't be panicking too much down the stretch here in this fourth set.
Colleen Smith plays it to the center of the court and then gets it back. Set up by Brown. High with another dig. And then nice patience there from Anderson just to wait for that ball to fall right into place. Slam and nicely placed. Right by the block and right on the inside of that line.
It's Brummel once again on the far side. You could tell what the end result of that point was going to be before the ball even hit the ground. Wheaton barely stood a chance there defensively. And Millikin have done really well to tie this one back up.
How?
Oh, that is killer.
Yeah, that's a tough serve to deal with. Just, yeah.
Combination of speed and placement right there, dipping so quickly to get down to the ground. Allie High just barely able to get a touch on that one. And quite a little 3-run sequence here for Millikin.
Here's Smith. Handled off of the deflection from the block. And that one is out. Whew, that was close, though, from Brummel.
The Wheaton players were more confident than we were about that one sailing long. That did not miss by much.
No, it did not.
But that is a necessary fortuitous break there for the Thunder, because Millikin were threatening to pull away.
Ashton Major. Ooh, not sure what happened there, but the Thunder will take it.
Good serve just to the middle of the floor there from Major. That was Howell getting down to dig it out initially, but the teammate just couldn't quite keep it alive. Back-to-back big points there for Wheaton.
Major to serve again. And yeah, I was literally about to comment.
Feast or famine, that's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
And you know, freshman middle blocker, it makes sense. The service game is not really her forte, but at a time like this, it's just an unfortunate mistake to make, given Millikin the tie back up at 17.
Anderson on the set, bunker. Gets blocked though. And then this is set up by Smith. Back to, I think that was Anderson with the set and Bunker with the kill.
I was just about to say, off that first attempted kill from Naomi Bunker, we have yet to see her kind of wake up offensively tonight. She's come up with a number of good blocks defensively, but haven't seen those trademark kills that we've gotten used to seeing this season from the junior. Big one right there, though, for Wheaton.
We'll see Staub enter the game as well, so back on this look.
Oh.
And that's, yeah, just mishandled, so.
That's a bad time to have a defensive miscommunication if you're Millikin. Two players, that was Anna Deutschman and Sophia Howell, just getting their wires crossed. Big break right there for the Thunder.
Staub. Howell on the set and then slammed down. I think that's Flesner again, and it is. Gers can't get that one.
This is one of the more back and forth volleyball sets in recent memory that I've watched. It is impossible to predict how this one's going to turn out. Just when it looks like one team's going to go on a run and maybe close it out, the other team comes firing back. We could be in for an extra point kind of set here.
Certainly could be. Staub, that goes over. Yeah, it's an unfortunately long dig there from Smith.
Came off the knee of Caroline Capps right back into the net. Well-placed kill right there for Millikin. We're tied up again.
This one played a little bit better, and it's Staub. Just the speed on that from Capps. The arm speed was crazy on that. Holy cow.
Incredible contact and incredible save right there from Kaylee Itzenhauser defensively for Millikin. Unfortunate break there for the Big Blue with the misplaced tip over the net. Big point there for Wheaton as they reclaim the 1-point advantage.
Smith there, little, that's a nice play. I don't think the Thunder saw that particular set coming. That's Reese Brown decides to, go the other way. It's a nice looking play.
The all-conference second team member, Jesse Crater there on the far side, going to work once again. I don't think we could have asked for a much better fourth set.
2020. Vassallo takes the serve. Pluhar. Capps. Nice dig. Tapped over, that's Stewart. Staub keeps it up though. Should have another hit, they do. Capps blocked again. Bunker, just avoids the rafters. Here's Gers. Slapped across Vassallo. That doesn't avoid avoids rafters but hits the light. Stewart. Utter chaos it feels like right now as High gets it over and Gers can't get it over the net. That was a crazy volley.
It was. That was quite a wild point. Once again, the ceiling and the lights making an impact. Unfortunate contact right there from Audrey Gers, unable to get that one back over the net. Wheaton just looking a little bit disjointed on that play. Millikin trying to seize on the indecision. Got a 1-point lead. Can they make it count here down the stretch?
Yeah, and the Thunder's season on the line here. Millikin within 4 points. Nice job by Pluhar to get under it. Gets it right back, but it's going to be a free ball for Millikin. Set by Brown, slam by Stewart, and it is in. There was definitely a moment of indecision here. Let's take a look. Can't really tell.
I wonder if there was a touch off a Wheaton player there, because it looked like that ball landed on the wrong side of the line, but obviously the line judge has the best view of any of us. But a big point right there for Millikin. And as you said, Wheaton's season on the line here.
Yeah, no, it was hard because it did look like it certainly went out, and I didn't really see any contact, so yeah, hard to tell exactly what happened, and that's a big point. Big point, down 2. And only 3 more points now needed for Millikin to close out the Thunder season. Had some fans wanting some VAR technology to be instituted for that one. Look for the instant replay.
Install it just for the fourth set.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is just a critical timeout, to say the least, here from Coach Schmidt. Her team has largely done really well coming out of these breaks tonight, but Wheaton will need it now more than ever coming out of this one. If Millikin get one more, it might just be out of the grasp of the Thunder here, trying to pull off this late comeback.
Yeah, this point absolutely crucial. Going down 3 at this stage might just not be doable.
But you know who the real winners of this match is. Illinois Wesleyan. These two teams are going right down to the wire, and they're having to expel quite a bit of effort here tonight. I think the Titans are happy just to sit back and let this one go as long as possible.
Yep, leaving it all out there. But here we go, this crucial point. Bunker,
Oh.
It lands exactly what the Thunder need. Bunker delivers.
That is a critical play from the junior right there, placing it perfectly in that back corner. Can't even fault Millikin defensively. That was just excellent contact.
Here's high. Pumped up by Itzenhauser. Stewart, and she comes up big, doing what the first team all CCIW conference player does. Coming up big.
Serious intervention right there from Tori Stewart. That is exactly what Coach Kick was looking for to help her team close this one out. Another critical point here for both teams.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout called by the Thunder, back down 2. But yeah, arguably the strongest player, at least statistically, on the side of Millikin, coming up big when she needed to. I think it's probably, we'll look at the stat line and say that she was sneaky good this game, even though we weren't calling her as much as, you know, maybe we were in that first set. But it is a 2-point lead. Thunder need to come up with something if they want to stay alive, want their season to stay alive here.
Yeah, this is the definition of a backs up against the wall kind of series here for Wheaton. Millikin was kind enough to host a 5-set battle between these two teams earlier on in the season. Wheaton trying to do the same here tonight. I think even if they do drop this series of points and lose the match, I think Coach Schmidt will be so pleased that her team didn't just give up and phone it in after set number 2, because especially with the run that this team has been on, I think it would have been easy just to let their heads drop and let Millikin have the sweep, but they fought them off well in that 3rd set. They got a chance to try to force another reverse sweep here, but Millikin looking to close this one out from the service position.
This will be Reese Brown. The ball in her hand. Try to serve up a Millikin W. Alley high. Staub sets, caps. Itzenhauser gets under it. Itzenhauser sends it over, puts some nice spin on that. Staub plays it up. Gers trying to deliver something, but a beautiful dig by Vassilo, and that's the sort of plays that are just so important. But the equally large block from the Thunder gets them within 1.
You think that one got the crowd excited? That was a perfectly timed block defensively for Wheaton there, as we see the senior Briley Brogan check back in. Marley Anderson, the experienced veteran with the ball in her hands. One of the biggest serves of her Wheaton career coming up right here.
Absolutely, Anderson with the serve. Itzenhauser gets it, nice tap, diving, just
beautiful.
Can't get there. That was placed perfectly between Anderson and Pluhar, and neither of them could reach it.
Once again, Tori Stewart coming up with a huge play for Millikin.
This is everything. This is the season on the line for the Thunder. Could be the final point of this game. Stewart to serve. Getting under it is Pluhar. Hits it a little too far, but Anderson's able to get there. Gers off the block, and it's another point. The Thunder's still alive.
Clinical all the way around. Senior connection between Pluhar and then Anderson setting it up for Gers, doing what she's done all season long. Fans on their feet now in King Arena. Audrey Gers, the senior. Oh, we'll get a Millikin timeout. Smart call. Smart call right here from head coach Debbie Kick.
This is like, I don't know.
Is this enough drama for you on a Tuesday night?
Oh my goodness. This is totally feeling like March Madness with all these timeouts right when it feels like a commercial break when the show you're watching is just getting good. Oh my goodness. 24-23. You couldn't ask for anything closer.
I think Wheaton needs to cancel classes tomorrow just to give the students an emotional break after this.
I mean, as a Wheaton student, I would not say no to that. But, oh my.
Well, yeah, from a neutral perspective, we can have very few complaints. After that first set, it looked like Wheaton might be in for a long night with how clinical Millikin started the match, but since then it has been as back and forth as they come. Wheaton will be frustrated that they are in this back against the wall position here at the end of this fourth set because they had the lead for a significant part of this game, but Millikin, full credit to them for taking advantage and being able to carve out this late lead. But this next point, as a famous college football commentator would say, for all the Tostitos.
For all the Tostitos. Who is that? Who said that?
It was Brent Musburger before the Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'll have to work that in sometime, too. I haven't heard that one.
If Wheaton gets a sponsorship with Tostitos, there you go. That's how we do it. All right, Audrey Gers.
All right.
All the pressure on one player's shoulders. This is not an easy position to be in, but you wouldn't want anyone else taking the serve for Wheaton.
Gers with the serve, gets it over the net, and that's a miscue right off the bat, and the Thunder will take that. 24-24.
Coach Schmidt's reaction telling her team to get back on the sideline, trying to stay classy. This one is not over.
Wow.
Man, a terrible time for a miscue defensively from Millikin. You feel for the player who let that one get away.
Gers again. Vassallo plays it up. Bumped up. This is going to go back to Stewart. And straight into the net. It is the Thunder who seem to be playing with the pressure well, and Millikin who's getting a little shaky here.
And I don't want to jinx her, but Audrey Gers is the calmest head in the building right now.
Absolutely.
Two excellent serves back to back, putting the pressure on Millikin. Can she get a third?
Make it 3. Vassallo bumps it up, and that's a miscue again. Vassallo just going to have to send it over. Free ball. Played up. Fans on their feet right now. Colleen down again, and closes it out. The Thunder take the win. Absolute shocker. Coming back from down 2 late in this game to win it. We're heading to a Game 5.
The comeback kids. Queen Arena. It is hype.
Arena.
I mean, name a better player to close it out than Colleen Smith, the senior first-team all-conference player. She's had a quiet fourth set, admittedly, by her standards. But, man, high-pressure situation. You want the ball at her hands, and Colleen Smith delivers as she has done all season long. Hey, John Mark, I got news for you. We got a fifth set to play. Wheaton fans and team are loving it right now, but this job is not done. And this Millikin team, having lost the 5-setter to Wheaton earlier this season, you better believe they'll be out for some revenge in this fifth set.
Oh, my goodness.
Only fitting that two teams so evenly matched go the distance.
I don't even know how to compute a fifth set at this point. Where do we even go from here?
We got men's soccer first team all CCIW players Silas Galvao and AJ Moyes in attendance below us. The stars are out.
Oh, yeah.
In King Arena right now.
Yeah, of course, you got the wrestling team who's been here almost from the start, getting the hype, getting the energy.
That was the loudest I have heard King Arena all fall. That 3 series of points by Wheaton. I mean, you cannot ask for a better response from your team if you're Coach Schmidt. She had to be so pleased with her team battling it out like that against a legitimate Millikin team. I mean, this is a strong opponent that they have come up against tonight, and they really dug themselves out of the hole right there.
Yeah, and had every opportunity to lay down and just take it, but it was just a story of Thunder resilience, looking cool, calm, and collected. Gers just sending the ball over 3 times in a row, and yeah, it really looked like Millikin who was kind of playing with the nerves there, and that's what ended up getting the better of them. Is we have to play a fifth set now, and the Thunder. The Thunder look to go undefeated, continue to go undefeated in best of 5 in 5-game sets.
They have lost one. They're 3-1 this year, so they're looking to get 4 out of 5 here, but. That is, yeah, they were able to avoid the 4-set trap at the hands of Millikin.
Yes.
But that was quite the response from Wheaton here. And hey, don't forget, we got women's soccer action coming up tomorrow. Wheaton hosting Augustana in the women's soccer semifinals. In case tonight did not whet your appetite for CCIW action enough, got to come back for broadcast part 2 tomorrow evening.
Yes, sir. Oh, man.
It's the best time of the year.
It is.
Got winter sports starting, fall sports coming to a thrilling conclusion, and good luck predicting which team's going to win this one.
Yeah,
because keep in mind, as I said earlier, Wheaton won the first 2 sets in the first match between these two teams. Millikin won the next 2, and then Wheaton won the 5th set. So Millikin trying to complete the exact opposite here in number 5.
Yeah. And the Thunder looking to pull off that reverse sweep, and it's just going to be so interesting to see how Millikin comes out after, out of this break. After, I don't want to use the word collapsing, but certainly weren't playing their best volleyball down the stretch when they were within a point of closing it out. So just see what sort of character this team has. It's going to take a lot of resilience to bounce back from it was right in their grasp. They had it. Millikin had it. They could taste it. But the Thunder just said, I don't think so. We're gonna play a fifth one.
Yeah, it only seems right that these two teams have a 5-setter to decide which team advances. They've been so evenly split throughout the season. The first match obviously being a 5-setter just seems appropriate. Now it's a battle of wits more than anything else.
Yeah, and this game, of course, will be played to 15, so shorter game, and Gers comes right out and establishes what this game is gonna be like with a huge kill.
Siri, define perfect start. Colleen Smith wrapping up the fourth set for Wheaton. Audrey Gers picking up where she left off. Beautiful execution.
Absolutely. Gers is just, seems like the paradigmatic player here, is what Millikin answers right back, tying it up at 1-1. No surprise there. This is going to be back and forth, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that's a classy response. Once again, Tori Stewart coming up with the goods for Millikin. She has reestablished herself in this match after kind of fading in the second and third sets. A couple of big interventions on behalf of Millikin as she serves now.
Getting under to Smith. To Anderson, back to Smith. Bumped up, here's the set from Brown. Allie High finds it now. To Anderson, down and in the corner.
Riley Brogan dropping the hammer. She has saved one of her best performances for potentially her last performances in King Arena, one of the stars of the show this evening for Wheaton Volleyball. That was a huge intervention right there from the senior.
Into the net. Nice response by Millikin to find that ball. Bunker just straight down. Millikin doesn't seem to have the answers right now.
Welcome to the party, Naomi Bunker. Only her third or fourth kill of the night, but man, that was powerful.
Thunder just absolutely firing on all cylinders right now, and we have Major on the serve. She gets that one over the net, so that's a sigh of relief. Flesner changes it up, but diving play by Anderson. Goes back to Smith. Open hand, sends it over the net. Flesner back to Stewart. This should be easily played. It is by Major. Anderson with the set. Oh, and that's just out of play. Oh, wait. That's going to go to the Thunder. Not sure what the call is on this. Must have gone off a hand maybe at the net, because that was certainly out of play. Yeah,
Millikin were starting to celebrate. I think they thought they got that point. A late change of the mind there from the referee. Wheaton will gladly take it.
Here's Major. Gets it over again, and another miscue. This is absolutely, we're seeing some nice celebrations from the Thunder. Just want to call that out too. Holy, okay.
Ashton Major just nodding her head saying, yeah, that's what I do. That's my thing.
You could not guess that she was having trouble serving off of those two. And not from that one either. Vassallo gets it. Slam down, but another block! Holy crap, that is Bunker and that is Smith putting up the wall.
Yeah, it looks like Colleen Smith, both of them going up at the same time, as you said, regardless of which player got it.
Whew, what is happening? This energy.
Up into the stratosphere in King Arena right now. These fans are hyped. This team has found their groove.
But if you're Millikin, I mean, this is a tough spot to be in. You're within a point of winning in that fourth set, and now you are on your heels to start the fifth. What does it look like to come back from this?
Not an easy place to be in if you're over in that big blue huddle right now. The momentum's so clearly on the side of the home team. I'm sorry, I just received a text from my boss, so I'm trying to respond to Wheaton SID Brett Marhanka while live on the air.
No worries, no worries. Priorities are in place. But either way, yeah, the Thunder doing a really strong job. Jumping out to a 6-1 lead. And Major putting some of her service demons behind her right now. Right when it matters the most. No jinx at all, though. She looks calm and ready to go. And maybe I lied on the jinx comment.
Well, that's what we said in the last set. She's really struggled coming out of the timeout.
It's true, actually.
I think Coach Kick was picking up on a pattern here. Another well-timed timeout from the Millikin coach throwing Ashton Major off, but at least in this case, Wheaton had a 5-point cushion to fall back on. But a couple points here, and Millikin will be right back in this decisive set.
Yeah, that's a really good point because she was able to string a few together when they were kind of in real time. But after the timeout, Bunker, nice little trickery there. There's the block. Will she be able to adjust? Bunker does. And unbelievable job by High to keep it in play. Of course, getting that 4th hit. And now here's High, set by Anderson. This goes to Brogan off the block, diving play. Another point picked up by the Wheaton Thunder.
Riley Brogan once again with the timely play. Couple of defensive touches there from Millikin. Great dive right there from Grace Kanowski, just not quite able to keep it in. And the fans are back on their feet to celebrate another big point for Wheaton.
Now we have Staub entering the game, so moving away from Anderson for a little bit here. Staub on the serve, bumped up. Here's the tap over, but nice job readjusting to that changeup. Staub plays it across to Caps. Oh, tries to go cross court, but slams it right into the net.
Just a little bit of a mistimed jump there from the freshman. It looked like a good set from Staub, maybe a little bit far back, but yeah, not the best connection there for Caps off the jump. And an unfortunate break there for Wheaton, a much needed point for Millikin as they look to get back into this one.
Yeah, Millikin, they just need to calm it down a little bit here. High, Bunker taps it over.
Gets her own rebound.
Gets her own rebound. Nice dig by Vassilo. And not going to be able to get there as that's Reese Brown diving to make a play on it, but can't put it in a position where her teammates can play it. 8-3 lead. And now Smith to serve. Probably exactly who you want back here on the serve if you're the Thunder. Ball played to Brown, cross to Flesner, and the block is set up, rejected by Caps. Boom. Oh my goodness.
She may be a freshman, but that was not a freshman play. Putting it right back where it came from is an understatement. She just demolished that ball back on the Millikin side of the net. Nothing you can blame Millikin for right there. That is just excellent defensive play. Well, this all season long, this Wheaton team has had a flair for the dramatic. They've loved these 4- or 5-set extended matches, so I guess it's only right that they start the postseason with another one. They're over halfway there now with a 6-point lead, but it is not quite party time. They've got some business to take care of. Millikin just a few points away from making this an even more thrilling conclusion.
And that is just such a huge block because it's felt like when Millikin has needed something, they've been going over to the likes of Flesner or the likes of Stewart. So with the Thunder, even to have an answer for that is just such a huge, I mean, it can't really be underestimated how big of a play that is. It's like when you're going to your go-to player and the Thunder still have the answer, Millikin has to try to find something here. Down 6.
And what an emotional turnaround for this Wheaton team. Coming into this one off of, I believe it was 6 straight losses. Coming into tonight, they were entering the postseason low on confidence. So even if they aren't able to close out this 5th set, just to battle back and win the 3rd and 4th is trying to wrap up their season on a high note.
That's going to get tapped over, but found by Caps. Rushing over to find his Staub. Does a little turn, gets it back to Caps. Set by Brown. And then we're going to get it in fraction, this time on the Thunder, so that point will go to the Big Blue.
Yeah, much needed break there for Millikin coming out of that stoppage in play. Looks like Kaylee Itzenhauser checking back in to serve now for Millikin as they try to mount an important run here in the middle of the 5th.
Itzenhauser on the serve. Bumped by Smith to Gers. Nice dig, but that's going to sail straight over the net, and it's just out of play. Gers went for the home run hit on that.
I think she knew right away that she put that one out of bounds. She was already kind of smiling on the way down. This crowd was ready to get up off their feet for another big kill, and you have to say that's a missed opportunity for Wheaton there. She had most of the court to aim at. Unfortunate break there for Gers.
High finds it, Staub. Bunker, and that's a block. Put right up, so within 3 now. A little bit of a surge here from Millikin. We were talking about how you can't count them out. Showing exactly why. The Thunder got to play smart, got to play well here. Millikin's not going to give them anything. Getting under it is Smith. Gers. This is going to go to Bunker. Just taps it over, but that's a little bit of a miscommunication, but it'll go to Stewart. Colleen handles that one with no problem. Gers off the block. Found by Brown. Going to go across. Getting the hands up is Smith, then rushing over to find it, and then diving is Bunker, but that was 2 Thunder defenders rushing for it, Staub and High.
Yeah, miscommunication right there between Staub and High, as you said, running into each other, trying to keep that one alive. Communication is so important at this time in the match. Millikin halfway through that one were calling for a double touch on Naomi Bunker. Ultimately, it worked out for the Big Blue anyway, and this is a huge point.
I don't know if my heart can take this. This game is too close. I was ready for the Thunder just to cruise to a victory, but of course not. It'd be too much to ask for. Staub sets it up. Gers flips it across. Tapped over. Smith gets under it again. Caps blocked down, and Millikin's within 1.
That is a huge block right there. It looked like Jessie Crater going up in the center of the floor, getting the decisive touch. Yeah, she'll take the acclaim from her teammates. And what a response from the Big Blue out of that last timeout.
What a response. What a response indeed, as that's a beautiful serve, making Colleen work for it. Gets there though. Gers puts
Excellent.
it in. What an answer.
Clinical placement once again from the senior. Audrey Gers has brought her A game all night. And bold call by Coach Schmidt to let the team play after that last point. I think the temptation to call a timeout was there, but her confidence is rewarded as Wheaton restore their lead to 2.
Now trusting her players to get the job done. They've looked calm throughout. That's going to be sent over, but nice job by Smith to just get over the block. Oh, took a few bounces.
Oh, it's just looks like Reese Brown there on the far side going up over the net, getting the decisive block. Wheaton trying to keep it alive, but couldn't quite manage to. And yeah, as you said, it would be too much to ask for a smooth 5th set for either of these teams. This was always going to be an instant classic.
Vassallo, instant classic is absolutely right here. This has been such a good match between these 2 teams, as that is Gers with a uncharacteristic error. She's looked so solid in these late stages.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes we've seen tonight attacking-wise from Audrey Gers. Big point for Millikin to claim right there. An even bigger one coming up here for both teams.
We are 10-10. Vassallo to High. Staub gonna set. Cap's gonna elevate and directs it straight to Vassallo, who can't fight it off. Thunder back in front.
You could feel the heat off of that one all the way up here from Caroline Caps. That was a brutal play from the freshman, just ripping that one right back down.
Every point is vital. Every point is vital. Anderson sends it over. Here's the set. Here's the slam from Stewart. Goes for a little bit of a change of speed there. Brogan, nicely placed ball, but getting on top of it is Brown. Straight to Smith again. Here's the set. Here's Gers. And places it again. Gers. Incredible hit.
What a response from the senior, in exactly the same position as a couple points ago where she made that uncharacteristic mistake. Little redemption there for Audrey Gers, catching the back line beautifully. Can't blame Millikin defensively. That was just excellent volleyball.
It was the same ball from Gers, but she was there with the response this time. Stewart, the block, kept up by Vassallo. This is going to be dug by High. This is going to go to Smith or maybe Gers. They both go up for it. Smith ends up with it. No harm there. Stewart is blocked, deflects, getting over for it, and Vassallo again. Here's Itzenhauer. This is going to be another chance for the Thunder. Ashton Major plays it pretty softly. Stewart, High gets over. Major plays it up. Gers with another chance, changes the tempo.
Oh my God.
We are going still. Major kept it up again. Here's Anderson. Brogan. Vassallo keeps it alive. This is an incredible volley. Blocked again, but off the block. And Millikin comes up with the point. Oh my goodness.
I'm amazed you still have vocal cords after a play like that. I mean, there are some sequences where you just have to take your hat off and give a round of applause to both teams. You can see the heavy breathing right there from Reese Brown in the service position. She's hoping for a little break here before she gets this one off. That was the most intense point we've seen all night, and it comes at the very end of the match. That was phenomenal from both teams. It's a shame one of them had to lose that point.
Yeah, felt like Millikin was holding on by a thread that whole point, but the thread ended up being big enough. Here's Colleen Smith going to send it over. The kill attempt there. Anderson going to set it up. Brogan. That's played easily by Itzenhauer. Here's a good chance for Stewart. Off the block. Getting down on her knees to find it is Smith. Gers with another chance. And another beautifully placed ball from Gers. She has been the MVP in these late stages of this 5th set.
Her placement is just off the charts right now. She is playing like it's her last match at home. That is incredible once again from Audrey Gers. Only fitting that she's the one to serve now.
She's on the serve and she comes. Wow.
Just when it looks like one of these teams might pull away, we get something like that.
Without fail.
You kind of have to smile after a play like that. As unfortunate as it is for Audrey Gers and Wheaton, that is only fitting of what we've seen from this match tonight.
Absolutely without fail. This game does not fail to deliver us just these high tense moments. That's Flesner trying to cut it cross court but can't. It goes into the net and the Thunder within 1 point of moving on.
Yeah, strange play right there from Cameron Flesner. Almost hit it like it was a set right across her body. Fans on their feet.
I think I gotta get on my feet now. I don't know. I gotta join them.
Will it be feast or famine for Major?
This is it, Major. Feast for now. Here's the set from Itzenhauer. The slam from Flesner is dug beautifully by Gers. Beautiful dig from Gers, even just to get under that, but
the heat coming off of that from Cameron Flesner, very impressive once again there from the senior. Now it's Millikin's turn to dig it out when their backs are against the wall. Are we in for another set of extra points?
Howell, are we in for another set of extra points? It's going to be up to Howell on the serve to get it going. She does. Gers with the set. Anderson across to Colleen, who can end it, but the block is sent straight down. This is number 13, Kreider, coming up huge.
Not many players are capable of rejecting Colleen Smith at the net. You can see the intensity right there. Quite the celebration from Kreider and her teammates. And Millikin giving Wheaton a dose of their own medicine at the end of this 5th set.
Kreider stepping up. Here's Howell. That's going to be out. A costly error. Advantage Thunder.
Caroline Capps and Mia Staub checking back in for the Wheaton now. Huge point. Staub will drop back to serve. The senior once again. Can she be the one to finally get the Thunder over the line? I'm sorry one of these teams has to lose because it has been a phenomenal match.
It has been an absolute match for the ages. Thunder trying to pull off the unthinkable reverse sweep. It's Staub. Advantage Thunder looking to close it out. Arcs it over. Here's number 2, Brown. Slam down, and we go back and forth again.
Jessie Kreider saying, I'm not going home yet. Time and time again, she steps up for Millikin when they need her. Beautiful placement. We talk about Audrey Gers, how well she's been placing the ball. Jessie Kreider doing the exact same thing on that point.
Who's going to crack? Staub. Smith. Ooh, gets under it, though. Here we go. The slam again. Beautiful. Dug by High, keeping it up. Can Gers keep it in place? She does. But no! We're going to get a whistle, and the point goes to Millikin.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. Coach Schmidt asking the line judge for an explanation. Yeah, Coach Debbie Kitt called it immediately for Millikin. She thought that was a violation. You can tell how mad Coach Schmidt is about that one. I'll admit I don't really know what the call is from the referee. It was hard to see a signal from up here, but the call stands. Wheaton once again with their backs against the wall.
We are back underway, though. Thunder have to come up huge, just like Millikin has. Here's the tap over, and it's going to be play. That's Smith.
Smith, redemption off the soft touch. Not the best contact, almost looked accidental the way it came off her fist, but Millikin just caught by surprise, not able to get it back over the net. How about some more points?
How about some more points? Colleen Smith's ready with the serve, gets under it. Here is Flesner, I believe, on that. No, that's Howell, excuse me. Staub plays it all the way across court for Gers. It deflects off the block. Vassallo gets there. Brown and it's deflected up, and that's going to go straight into the stands. So no hope for either high or stop to find it. Advantage Millikin.
This is just remarkable what we're seeing right now. Good effort there by Caps to try to keep it alive, but Millikin just had too much behind the ball. Match point to the Big Blue once again. Good timeout here from Coach Schmidt just to give her team a chance to breathe, collect their thoughts. I think she's still fired up after that controversial decision we saw a few minutes ago. Millikin seizing the advantage. Wheaton obviously not out of this one yet, but we've seen quite a few momentum shifts in the last few minutes.
My hands are tingling right now. This is incredible. I don't even know what to say.
All bets are off.
All bets.
Again, Illinois Wesleyan just resting on their laurels right now as the 1 seed. They're just saying they're happy for these two teams to keep playing.
Yeah. Let them play a full 25-point set in the fifth match. Might as well let them go. I don't know. I don't know what to say. This has had everything you could possibly want in a playoff match.
We build this one at the top of the broadcast as an even matchup with these two teams coming in with identical conference records, but we could not have foreseen just how evenly matched this one would prove to be.
No, I don't think anyone could have predicted this. A 17-16 game in the fifth set. Thunder on their heels. I mean, these teams have alternated being on their heels. It's nothing new. This is just same old, it feels like. Season on the line for both of these teams. Thunder looking to pull off the incredible comeback from down 0-2. Millikin just looking to survive in a set that you think should have been their game, really, their match overall. And they have a chance to close it out now with Itzenhauser on the serve. Colleen Smith looking so solid. Gers with the slam, and it's out of play. And the Thunder are going to fall to the Millikin Big Blue on that play, but absolutely round of applause for both teams. Played so well down the stretch, both of them. What an incredible match of volleyball we got to see tonight. Unfortunately, the Thunder do fall. The fifth-seeded Millikin will move on to play Illinois Wesleyan.
Whew. Wow. Take a deep breath, John Mark. That was some match we just witnessed. A fitting, loud round of applause here for the Thunder team. That is a cruel twist of fate that Audrey Gers is the one with the attack error on the final point, given how stellar of a performance we saw from her tonight. And your heart breaks for these seniors going out with a defeat here in King Arena, but they can hold their heads high after an incredible comeback performance, falling behind 2-0. I think regardless of which team won tonight, you were going to have two exhausted squads and two proud coaches, because we just witnessed a phenomenal Division III volleyball match. And as we said, it's a shame that one of these two teams has to go home, because you want to give a spot to both of them to continue their season, because that was some high-quality volleyball.
Yeah, both teams putting in the effort, deserving of winning, but as you said, unfortunately, one team had to move on, and that team is Millikin. The Thunder fall in the fifth set to the Big Blue. Thank you so much for joining us. Go take a breather. Go take a rest after that one. John Mark Mills here with Gabe Woodowis. Thank you so much.